5 in the afternoon. It's Courtney. Does she know that she's here? But look at those ankle socks. I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. I need to learn how to read. I'm so keep shuffling. I like jostled my bosoms out of place. I did not do it! That sounds like me when I play the recorder. You can't tell the difference, can you? But being gay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Babbling Courtney Brooke, where we don't know what happens and that was weird. Now, as you can see, I got a little sunburned. And what's funny is I tried to put like a little tinted moisturizer. I was like, don't cover it up on the way. Just like neutralize a little bit. And then it turned me into a ghost for some reason. It's not supposed to be full coverage. Anyway, my audience is mainly men. You don't care. Hi, everyone. As you know, yes, I've got family coming to visit sometime today. Do I know exactly when? I don't really know. That's how that's how caught up I am. But anyway, um, what was I gonna say? I don't remember now. Oh well. There's some stuff to talk about. Okay. Last time we spoke, I for um probably close to the 3 hour what? I probably about 3 hours of the 3.5 hour stream. We discussed Dennis Wilson, or I forced you to listen to me talk about Dennis Wilson. And you know what? After that, I went on to listen to the Beach Boys Sunflower album, and I just have to say I have lots of thoughts, and you know that they're not going to be conventional at all. Um, and then I did listen to the Charles Manson song that that Dennis Wilson bought. And I have to say, first of all, you guys, you can listen to Charles Manson on Spotify. He has 32,000 listeners every month. You know what? I appreciate this timeline, to be honest. And I have to say, since Guns N' Roses has, buried the hatchet on that squabble they had over the spaghetti incident, I think that they need to they needed well they actually did release it, right? But did they? I don't know, but they need to release it with that Charles Manson song and just and tour. My favorite Manson song is Garbage Dump. Oh, I didn't listen to that one yet, but I know it exists. um I think maybe that's what we're gonna do, though, by the way, my dear friends, in members, my dear members. I think what we're gonna do is a members only stream where, well, we have to review Trapped in the Closet, and I think we're gonna do one where we listen to Charles Manson songs as well. Maybe listen to some of my favorite Beach Boys songs, because man, I'm just in shock that I was convinced for almost 40 years that their best songs were like Surfing USA, Help Me Rhonda, Fun, Fun, Fun. Don't get me wrong, they're like those songs are good, but like the one that I thought was like the best one was the Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long. That's not their best song. Not even close. Again, they're still good, but not even close. So let's say hello to everybody and take a peek at our dear friend Taylor Shabusiness. Courtney, Russ, hello. I hope you're having an amazing day and you look absolutely gorgeous as always. Thank you. I woke up super early this morning to feed the dogs, and then I went to go sit down for a minute because I was like, gosh, I'm kind of tired. And I fell back to sleep for a minute, for a little too long. Oopsie. Hello, Saw. Thursday's number 100. And you know what I think I'm going to do is, like, while my sister's here, I'm going to be able to like squeeze in some streams here and there. I'm not going to be like hanging out with my family like 24/7, right? But I'm not gonna be able to do like a whole 8 hour stream. So I think we're gonna do like a belated celebration. So we'll do episode 100, and then we'll do, I don't know, we'll probably belated celebration might end up being like episode 105 or something. Because she'll be leaving in like she'll be here for like a week. So anyway, Vengeance Demon, hello. Garviel, I was at the store earlier and they had imported Gruyere. Is that how you say it? I think. I was gonna get it until I saw it was $15. I mattered, what the fuck? And I put it back. Okay, well, how was it, like a small? Because here's the thing. Let's just take that government cheese and turn it into our own Gruyere. It'll be like $6. But no. Michael Coulter, hello, and Frank, hello. We gotta. I need to rename that one Frank's Fart. I care about your skincare regime. It's not a regime, it's a regimen. Regime, that's like, I mean, I guess maybe we can call it a regime since, Hitler was my great-great-grandpa or whatever. Courtney, what is your skincare routine, girly? You look radiant. I wash my face and I moisturize. And for streams, I slap on some tinted moisturizer and some blush, maybe a little contourage. Hi, Courtney. I care. I love your hair like that. Thank you. I like doing my hair like this too. I feel like just leaving it down just feels like, a little bit lazy. And this is also a little bit lazy, but it's, it takes a little bit more effort than just leaving it down. Maybe I want to get a perm. I know. R.I.P. Dennis Wilson. He's been dead for a long time. 40. Well, let's see here. So it was 83. It was the end of 83 though. So let's just say it was, January 1st, 84, which would mean that last year was, so it's been 41 years. Just listen to Pet Sounds. It's supposed to be a perfect album. I think that was the one though that I was like, I don't know. So here's the thing. I've been listening to the Sunflower album and I love it. I love it. I love it. It's really good. Like that first song, Slip On Through. Oh, so good. Russell Hall. What the hell does she mean by a filleted celebration? I love you so much. I did not say filleted. I said belated. Yeah. Zoma cool. Hello. Always brightens my day to see Courtney's podcast. Yay. You guys are ding dongs. I did not say filleted. Even dudes should moisturize daily. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm 50 and I look at least 49. Exactly, Zoma cool. Exactly. Yeah, I'm 39. I look at least 38. Pet Sounds is the album that broke Brian Wilson's brain. Pet Sounds, let's see here. Hold on. I have to go to their discography. I was talking to my acupuncturist about this whole experience I've been having. And she was like, oh my God, I love the Beach Boys. Like that was my brother's favorite band when we were growing up. And so, it was something that we always listened to in the house and stuff. And so she said when she first started learning the ukulele, she wanted to do Kokomo, and her instructor actually had never taught. That was the first time he taught one of his students Kokomo on the ukulele. And he was like, gosh, I just didn't even think about that. But this is like a really fun song to play. It was just really cute. And she was talking about when she got her first, or when she recently got a record player. It wasn't her first record player, but she bought like a new one recently. And she was like really excited to go to the record store. And she was like, oh man, I found some Beach Boys albums. It was awesome. Very cute. Let's see here. So Pet Sounds. So was it Smiley Smile that Dennis did by himself and then Brian came back? I need to figure out that timeline because I don't really know exactly how that went down. But I do know that when Brian left, it devastated Dennis, and I'm still mad at him for it. Courtney, you don't look a day over 35. Well, thank you. If you try to tell me that you think that I'm like any younger than, how old did I find out? Any younger than like 30, I'm gonna be really mad because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't eat Tide Pods, okay? I'm not Gen Z. Courtney, you're looking wonderfully breasted today. Hi, douchey Nazi. Good to see you. And Calix, hello. I heard a song called Shannon, and it was about the dude who lost his dog named Shannon. When I heard that song, I wanted to cry. Oh. Where are the hounds? I have... Chungus is actually right here. And Cricket's in the... I was going to say the driveway. First of all, if Cricket was in the driveway, she would not be in the driveway for long. She's in the living room. And Penelope is in what is now her bed and not mine. I bought it, but it's hers. But Michael, speaking of that Shannon song, when there's rumors about the song Mandy being about a dog. Oh, Mandy, you came and you gave without taking. And I remember I was like crying, telling my brother about that. And I was like, it was after Boots died, and I was like, it's like Bootsy, because he came and he gave without taking. And my brother, like, right then, my brother goes, I'm pretty sure he stole a sandwich off of my plate. And I just burst out laughing, and I was like, well, okay, so he was hungry. Courtney should be, a night under. Oh, Frank. Hold on. That and all the acid he did, he cooked his brain and became a schizophrenic. Wait. Oh, he was deep into acid at the time. Okay. You only like the Beach Boys because of the Manson connection. That's not true. Chatnesk, you're kind of retarded. More like very retarded. How long have you liked the Beach Boys? Sounds like a passing fad for true crime fans. No, first of all, I learned about the Manson, the whole Manson story and the Dennis Wilson connection and all that fucking years ago, and didn't give a shit about listening to the Beach Boys. If you paid attention to anything, which you clearly don't, and I'm very annoyed with you right now, you would know that I was listening to the story of Dennis Wilson and like his tragic upbringing and just the like tumultuous life that he had, and like the Manson connection wasn't even the craziest part of his life. And when he died, it was fucking awful. And then I realized that the song, well, Sam actually he was researching for me during that stream and was the one who informed me that Forever, the song that I heard when I was a kid, sung by Uncle Jesse on Full House, that was actually a song that was originally written and recorded by Dennis Wilson. And I was like, oh my gosh, this whole time I thought that Uncle Jesse wrote that for Aunt Peggy. And then, so that night I was very interested in hearing the Sunflower album because I really wanted to hear that. First of all, that song, but I just wanted to know how the rest of it went. And I really enjoyed it. And so then yesterday on my walk with the dogs, I ended up actually like listening. I usually just don't have like my headphones or anything with me. And I popped in an earbud and I took the dogs on a walk and I listened to that album on the walk and I really enjoyed it. And I thought, this is actually really upsetting to me that, I didn't know anything about the Beach Boys when I was a kid. And now I'm mad that my parents are dead and I can't like file a lawsuit against them for child abuse for allowing me to just believe that songs like Fun, Fun, Fun and Surfing USA were their best songs when they weren't. So shut up, Chatnesk. You are annoying. Oh, my poor doggy hates the heat right now. I had to get a air conditioner a couple years ago when Boots was still around. It was so bad. It was one of our first summers that got really hot in like quite a few years, and it was like over 90 degrees. And yeah, it was so bad. Like before it arrived, I was in the backyard chasing the dogs around us. Boots hated it the most, but I was chasing them around with the hose. He got far enough away from me where I almost couldn't reach him. And I was like, this could like cause health problems for you, little buddy. And that was my last summer with him too. Like I remember thinking like the doctor said he was going to be dead by now and he's fine. And then a month later everything went downhill and I was like, well, shit. Russell Hall. Imagine if Manson and Shabusiness formed a team. Oh my God. Like Casey Anthony and OJ Simpson. We need to get back to OJ Simpson and Casey Anthony. I was thinking about that recently. But I like this, Russell Hall. I think that's another story that we should come up with. That'll be really fun. They would have written WrestleMania in blood on the walls. Well, okay, so was Helter Skelter actually written in blood on the walls? I thought I heard something, and this could be wrong. It's been a while since I heard the details, but I thought they did like ketchup or jelly or something to make it look like it was blood, or they had to mix something that was red with the blood because they didn't have enough or something. Something real stupid. Douchey Nazi, you look gorgeous today, by the way. I'm out. Hit like you somethings. Well, then. Well, we're gonna miss you, douchey. But come back if you can. Yeah, sure. Or maybe like Joker and Harley Quinn. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like where this is going, actually. Oh, Russell, do you not remember when we were talking about Casey Anthony and OJ Simpson having a baby? Were you not here? I think you were here. It was written in blood at the La Bianca scene. Okay. It said pigs and a few other things. I thought it was good. Okay. That could have been either misreporting or I could have been mixing it up, confusing it with something else. But I remember hearing something about maybe it's possible that somebody who was telling the story was just saying it looked like it was blood, but they weren't sure what it was. I don't remember now. But thank you for clarifying. I might just have to go down that rabbit hole again. But okay, let's say hi to Taylor Shabusiness right quick, and then we're gonna talk about some stuff. The hell was that, Twitter? Oh, that is quiet. Full blast for this one, please.
We're off the record.
Carrie's not here to count.
It sounds like just one witness. We're asking for sequestration, but that may be a moot point.
All right.
It is one witness, Your Honor.
We're off the record.
No, now that Chatness said don't play it, we're gonna have to play it a couple more times.
It sounds like just one witness. We're asking for sequestration, but that.
Hi, Chatness. We're not gonna miss you.
All right.
It is one witness, Your Honor.
We're off the record.
And Judge, it sounds like just one witness. We're asking for sequestration, but that may be a moot point.
All right.
It is one witness, Your Honor.
Oh, wait.
We're off the record.
Who said anything disrespectful about Sharon Tate? No one did. Chatnesk is just a bit of a dickhead and thinks it's cool to stir up shit. Apparently, he wasn't paying attention when I was talking about push-ups the other night. I could retell the story if you want, but there's a reason we don't see him here anymore. There's a really good documentary called 6 Degrees of Helter Skelter where a Manson expert goes to the major Manson locations. It's really good, but hard to find. Let's see here. Wait. 6 Degrees of Helter Skelter. We shall see if we can find something. 2008 film. Wait. So you can buy a copy of the DVD on Amazon, but oh, dude. When was the last time you looked for it, Garville? Because I just found it. There's a channel called Zurock, Zurock, and they uploaded a video. It looks like it's the whole thing. It's an hour and 45 minutes in 2018. So, members only situation. Oh, Russell Hall. I'm going to play the loud one just in case Chat and Esk is still here. So, anybody turn your volume down if it bothers you too much. Sometimes I used AI to have all iconic scenes from The Princess Bride played by babies. I bet it would work even better for that little trial mishap. Yes, Russell Hall, do you want me to send you the clip of it? How do I do that? I am space people. What? Okay, something, take out all the garbage. Yeah, sometimes you can just let the garbage take itself out in this case, but I'm afraid to give subs because Chat and Ask might get one. Well, if he does, we'll just ban him until we'll just ban him until his membership expires. It might be trying to go through and like give everybody who's subscribed a gifted membership before like redoing it, It might be that. Like before re-gifting another person. Manson as Papa Hitler, Shabusiness as Eva Braun. Now this is getting even weirder. Hi. People have been asking about this. I know, please, my baby dog. There we go. There's Choo Choo. Poor baby. My nephews love the dogs. They call them the Fuffas. It's very adorable. The problem with it is they are young. They're kids. They like running around and they like, being loud and being kids, which is wonderful. I love it. Dogs don't. I have the DVD. It used to be streaming on Amazon. The director wanted to do a newer version with updates, but he hasn't done it yet. Oh. Well, somebody who got the DVD ended up uploading it on YouTube, so it's not as hard to find, which is very exciting. Okay, we're gonna watch this cow. I just had to double check and make sure it was like. Oh, did it mute it anyway? Jeez. What a baby. He's you a baby. Oh, she's falling asleep. It looks tasty. I mean, to be honest, the more relaxed they are, the better the meat will be, I thought that was very cute. Okay, so I just want to tell you guys a little something. So back to the story of like the Beach Boys and all of that. So when I was comparing Cease to Exist to Never Learn Not to Love, here's the thing that I came up with. I'm never eating a hamburger again. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Some cows are mean. Maybe the one you eat next is not going to be cute like that one. Here's the thing with Cease to Exist, and then Dennis Wilson re-recording it as Never Learned Not to Love. Cease to Exist, the way that first of all, I have to start off with this. Charles Manson didn't have, a lot of options. Now, from what I've gathered though, is that he did have access to the recording studio with Dennis at one point in time. So I'm guessing that he recorded those songs in the studio with Dennis. I believe, if I remember all of this correctly, that's what it was. So I can't really use the excuse that he didn't have a lot of resources because at one point he did. But he was brand new to everything, right? So he didn't understand how like everything in a recording studio worked really. Like I just think what I'm saying essentially is I've been there before. I was about to say I've been Charles Manson before. No, don't do that. Guess what, guys? I was once in a band, okay? And I recorded a little demo record, okay? Recorded I think 3 songs on there. And it sounded like crap. We didn't have a recording studio. We had like some guy who worked at Guitar Center with like some decent, like some okay, like recording equipment. I don't know how much knowledge he really had, but it was like a little rough. Like there was at one point he was like, there's this weird rattling sound. I can't figure it out, blah, blah, blah. And finally he was like, you're going to have to hold still when you're singing because every time you move, your necklaces rattle, right? But instead of just straight up being like, can you remove your necklaces for the recording? Like you gotta be able to pinpoint that stuff. Because right after he said that, I was like, oh, and then I just took them off. And he was like, oh, you don't have to do that. But like, yes, you do, because the person's going to still keep moving around. They're singing. Like what are we doing here? So I just feel like he was also like pretty inexperienced as well. But it didn't sound very good. It sounded very like muddy, very like it wasn't that great. But here's the thing. Everybody in the band, everybody in the band was talented. We all knew what we were doing. We put on pretty good shows. Like we were still good. It's just that we were all really new. And then you factor in this person who also was new to recording. Like it's going to sound like shit. So when people say like, oh, Charles Manson sucked, like his music sucked or whatever, I actually have to disagree. He was brand new to the game. He didn't really know what he was doing. And, these were his first and only recordings. And I actually think he was talented. He had a good voice. He knew how to play guitar. He just needed more experience. I'm going to get sucked back into reading Helter Skelter again. It's a very interesting story. The Charles Manson, like his whole story is really interesting. It's really sad. He, was, I don't know if like he had behavioral issues when he was a kid and he didn't have anybody around that really was there to like give him some guidance or any sort of discipline. And so he ended up going to prison when he was really young. And I think he was like 9 when he burnt down a school. But like the adults in his life, I remember watching this interview. I was laughing so hard. I was like, this guy's insane. Cause he was just like, I came home from school one day. My uncle told me the people there are bad. So the next day I went back and I burnt that sucker down. Oh, okay. At 9? The hell? Like, what were they teaching you? What were the adults in your life teaching you for the first 9 years of your life that you thought if somebody says people there are bad, that you just burn the place down? What is going on here? But then instead of like psychiatric evaluations, maybe, I was gonna say rehoming him, but basically like, having him live with other people that clearly, actually have a better chance at raising him properly. They just threw him in jail where he was so brutally sexually abused by other inmates. And the guards just turned a blind eye. So sad. But also I think that like during his time, like in and out of incarceration, I think that he got plucked by the CIA and then he became a plant. That was his uncle Luther. His uncle was a nut job. And his uncle should have been thrown into a psych ward, at least. Somebody needed to figure out what the hell was going on with that guy. Like that, I actually have a lot of sympathy for Charles Manson. I don't like the way that he handled all the issues that he had. I don't have any sympathy for his final years leading up to going to prison and all that, but I do have sympathy for his upbringing. I think that just wasn't fair. I can understand how things led to what happened, but I also don't blame him for helter skelter and all that, because again, it was the CIA. Charlie was a white supremacist, and I think that's okay. I think he was a fake white supremacist. I think he was told to do that by 3-letter agencies to create a fake race war. De nouveau, hello. But he actually, if you listen to it with a little bit of an open mind, like just pretend like it's your friend, right? Because I was like trying to explain this to my brother the other day. Like, if you listen to this, I was like, if you tell me that this is the garbage and he's not talented, like, then you might as well say that like I've never had any talent before, right? Because I've recorded music before and it sounded like garbage, but like, does that mean that I like wasn't talented and didn't have, like, I wasn't worthy of continuing and growing and getting better? Maybe getting a better sound engineer, maybe getting, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that's fair. I think that he really had, I think he had a lot of potential. And I think Dennis truly believed that too, and really wanted to see him grow and give Charles Manson a chance. I mean, to be honest, I think that it would be, I think it is actually a smart idea to take the songs that he has and re-record them and make them sound a little bit better. Because they were good rough drafts, I think. Like I was talking about this with Sam, how like Dennis, I think, heard Cease to Exist, and in his a drug fueled moment was like, oh, well, this song, and then when he sobered up and realized like, ugh, I don't know what I can do with this. I don't think though that Charles Manson's songs were meant to be changed by a Beach Boy. So what I've also realized with Dennis Wilson was that with all of the suffering that he went through, like his whole life was just pain. He somehow, when he was making music, only knew how to transmute it into happiness. He didn't know how to just express it as it was. And I think that actually was what was actually rather damaging to him. So he didn't know how to take this song. That song was actually meant to be a lot more emotional. It was a lot meant to be, a bit tortured. And he turned it into like a happy, the whole time I heard it the first time, I was like, this is too bouncy. It's too bouncy for what it's supposed to be. And I don't think a songwriter like Dennis Wilson was meant to redo a Charles Manson song. Now, I haven't done a comparison of the Guns N' Roses cover, the Charles Manson song that Guns N' Roses covered. I haven't done a compare and contrast to that yet. I feel like there's a lot more hope with it though. I think that I have hope that that's going to be actually like a pretty good upgrade. Charles Manson was too crazy and violent to ever make it in music. I don't know. I think a lot of that was created by 3-letter agencies. I just do. It's a cult classic. His destructive tendencies would have absolutely sabotaged anything he made. I mean, the thing is like, especially at that point, it was, I think maybe hope was potentially lost. Maybe it's hard to say, like, because he needed a little guidance from the right people, and I don't know who those were anymore, right? Like, who knows what would have happened if Terry Melcher actually gave him a record deal? Would that have softened him a little bit? I don't know. But when he was like, you're not allowed to change anything on that song, and then he found out he did, so he went into the studio and like chased everyone around with a knife and stuff. Like, okay, that tells me that like maybe he could have been a little too far gone because he had no control over his life for ever, right? For the first, well, probably his whole life, really. Because, going to prison when you're a little kid and being severely abused for years and years, and then being in and out of jail because you're constantly breaking laws and all this stuff. And then you start this cult where you have control over everybody. It just, I mean, obviously, like once you feel like you're the powerful one over these, very weak-minded people, um, you're not going to really give anybody any control, right? You're not going to allow anybody to have their own opinion. And so when you're like a touring musician and all that, yeah, you're about to get like people are going to be controlling your fate, and it's not going to be pretty. You're not going to enjoy it if you're Charles Manson. So there's that. It's called improv. The man had goals. Jim Morrison was crazy and violent, but not as bad as Manson. Now, I don't know Jim Morrison's story. That might be a fun deep dive to do sometime in the near future. So I don't like. Were there similarities in his life? I just feel like the reason why Charles Manson got to the level he did was because of the horrible abuse he endured while in prison at 9 years old, so young, and then just feeling like you don't have any control over your life, and then controlling other people to the point where you can talk them into murdering people. That is a level of lunacy that most people don't get to, right? Like there's, like my brother and I were talking about how Oasis, the guys in Oasis, like Noel and Liam were constantly trying to, have power, and they would fist fight each other over it and everything, right? They clearly had have like controlling tendencies. They're clearly like maniacs. But again, like not on the level of Charles Manson. Charles Manson's just like between the heavy drug use and just the absolute garbage life that he had when he was a little kid and all that. It just yeah. His brain was altered to a state that many of us couldn't comprehend. Main thing I've heard about Manson was he was known to randomly slap people when drunk, but nowhere near Manson's murder spree. Oh, you mean about Morrison? Known to randomly slap people? Which sounds very typical for anybody who was a musician in the 60s and 70s. A lot of fist fights going on. Stu Sutcliffe. Healer, hello. Don't worry, you haven't missed a whole lot. Okay, that's what I thought. He wanted to be the one making other people wear the dress. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Oasis couldn't hold a candle to the genius of Charles Manson. Today was gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. Okay, you guys, this is actually a conversation I thought it was so interesting to have. I was talking to my brother about it. We were talking about like what makes a good cover and what makes a bad cover, right? So the one I default to is Joss Stone. She covered The White Stripes, Fell in Love with a Girl, and she did it so differently that it took me forever. And I was like obsessively watching MTV at this point in time, right? When I was a little kid. And like I could even watch the White Stripes music video and then the Joss Stone one right after and still not piece together. Granted, I'm kind of dumb, but still not piece together that was the cover. I actually like somebody had to actually say like, oh, and she covered the White Stripes. And I was like, oh my God. Fell in Love with a Boy is a cover of Fell in Love with a Girl. But she did such a good job with the fell in love with a boy, my boy, and I lost completely. Another good one is Limp Bizkit when they covered Faith. They did it to where like it was still pretty recognizable, but they still obviously they changed the chorus to be more unique to them. But like one that I don't think was a very good one really was Alien Ant Farm covering Smooth Criminal. In fact, I'm pretty sure anyone who covered a Michael Jackson song probably didn't really do a good job because like didn't Fall Out Boy did a cover of Beat It. Limp Bizkit Rules, Fight Me Bro. I will not fight you on that. Are you kidding? Douchey, here's the fun fact. Last Halloween, I was dressed up as a backup dancer for Limp Bizkit's Rollin' video. I'm totally engrossed in this conversation, but I can't stop staring at Chongus. Oh, look how happy she is. Chongus, your friend MA is here. Do you want to say hello? It was actually really cute though, MA, when I told her last night, I was like, MA says hello and she loves you so much. And she started giving kisses on my face. She doesn't do a lot of like face kisses. That's like not her jam. I think she's like scared to or something, but she was giving me face kisses. It was very cute. Korn's cover of Word Up is vastly underrated. I have not heard that. Hold on, let me put them in my notes. You know what? I have to say it's a little annoying that we still don't have an option to do a backwards R to properly spell corn when typing. You know, like it's been decades. Can we please? Nope, you got it wrong. Baggy tan cargos, white top. No, it wasn't. Okay, so there was Nookie was tan cargos, black shirt, red backwards hat. Roland was white shirt, baggy jeans, baggy denim, backwards hat. Someone tried to tell me that I was dressed for break stuff. And I was like, no, honey. Break stuff, it was all their friends were in the video. Even Jonathan Davis was there. Corn is awful. Oh, really? I forgot that Jonathan Davis beatboxed and scatted in Freak on a Leash. Does anybody remember this? Go! That guy became a millionaire from that. You're gonna tell me that was awful? Okay. So anyway. Oh, I think I just found Cricket. Wait. Hey, I want your money. Give me your money. Super chat. Super chat. Give me all your money. 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 I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. Give me your money.
I wish somebody were funding me. I'm poor.
So, turns out, I did find Cricket. She was not in the living room, but she decided to go to the living room. So, whatever, Cricket. So anyway, yeah, where were we? Cover songs. Yes. So, if you were to cover a song or multiple songs, what would you want to cover? Because I was thinking like, you really don't want to do number one hits, right? You don't want to do like the big bigs. You want to do maybe something that either was like not as big of a single. So like if I were to do a Hanson song, for instance, I'm not doing Mbop, but I might do like Weird. Isn't it weird? How we all get a little bit weird sometimes. Or maybe If Only. That's a really good song. Because those were recognizable singles that were really popular, but they weren't bop, right? If you, or you just go like to even more obscure songs of theirs, that once they went independent, you can do like, God, anything. Lost Without Each Other is a banger. Get the Girl Back is a banger. So even though they released those songs and did music videos for them, released them as singles, those could be really good. Or Thinking About Something, such a good song. Waiting for This, such a good song. They have a really good catalog though. Like you don't even have to do their singles. But okay, hold on. Before we get to it, Frank. I'm poor too. Let's be poor together. Yay! Cover songs are how I pick up on different styles or techniques of guitar playing. Ooh, I have an acoustic guitar. I want to restring it and start learning again. I'm an idiot. I haven't played guitar in like forever. Forever. I've been so happy loving you. But see, like I would be willing to learn how to play a couple of Charles Manson songs. I think covering a Charles Manson song would be good. It was fun. It was such a fun coincidence that I was learning Push the Little Daisies by Ween at the same time Cherry by Amy Winehouse. At the same time as Cherry by Amy Winehouse. At the same time. Oh, and they have two of the same chords that are stupidly hard. Oh. But are you good at it now? I hate all cover versions of Under the Bridge, original only. Yeah. Hell, Courtney. Hi, K-Max. But I could work on it with two different songs instead of getting bored and playing the same song over and over. Yeah. And that's the other thing is like you want to start playing a song. And once it starts to get a little too difficult, like you want to like pick up another one and then get back to that other one. And maybe I meant hail or Heil. Hell, Heil, hello. Obersturmbahn for your WWCD. What would Courtney do? Or what would he do? I don't know. He'd probably just blame the Jays. You know what I'm saying? He's like that. Colton, how's your mom? Okay. But yeah, no, I got to thinking about it and I feel like you'd probably want to go back far enough to where there are bands that are still like known, but not, I guess, considered relevant, right? So they're not like they don't have a bunch of songs on the radio, or the kids aren't listening to their songs on repeat, right? So like the Rolling Stones, Beatles, Beach Boys, probably leave Led Zeppelin alone. I'm just saying, but what do I know? Maybe even like Jimi Hendrix. I'm trying to think of like perhaps a Guns N' Roses song. I would say maybe leave November Rain alone. Nirvana could be Nirvana. I feel like is a good one because their songs. I'm sorry, I have to say this, and this is coming from somebody who I loved Nirvana so much when I was a kid. I had all their tapes. I went to Kurt Cobain's funeral when I was 8 years old. Okay. But their stuff wasn't like that good. Soundgarden could be fun, but you don't want to do Black Hole Sun. Pearl Jam, I would say if you go to Pearl Jam, Black would be a really good one to do because it's it's recognizable, but it's not like oh, although that could be fun, even flow. But Jeremy, I would say leave Jeremy alone. They all suck. Well, douchey, what's going on with you? Wow, boo! I had a good time getting high, boo. I mean, that's pretty much Nirvana. Every Nirvana song is just like, "Hey guys, want to listen to my heroin? What is? Are you trip? Do you trip when you're on heroin? What would you call my heroin induced friggin' delusions?" Regan! You look like an absolute goddess. Why, thank you. What song would you cover? STP? Stone Temple Pilots, maybe. Like them or like Jane's Addiction. God stealing one whenever. Eve 6, Third Eye Blind. I don't know. Like I definitely okay. Eve 6. The problem with Eve 6, they have the one song that's good and recognizable, and then nothing else in their catalog. So if you did a cover of their songs, most people would be like, "What is this?" Third Eye Blind is a little bit different because you could actually do that like Graduate song because it's a little less recognizable. But then you have Semi Charm Life. Like, don't touch that. Give me all your money. I want your money. Give me your money. I wish somebody were funding me. I'm poor. Ooh, wait. Maybe I can add that to the clip and take Ann Coulter out. I wish somebody were funding me. I'm poor. Rygod. Wallflowers, One Headlight. That's a good one. Or Gin Blossoms, Whisper at the Bus Stop. I don't even know if I've heard that one. I know. Here's the thing. I remember Gin Blossoms, and I know their songs. I just can't even think of them right now. Remember that one band, Tonic? If you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you'll understand. That song could be a good one. Okay, man. What is your favorite? What is your all-time favorite movie soundtrack? Chat can answer too. For me, it was The Crow. All '90s music we love so much. Ooh. Well, the last movie soundtrack I bought was 51st Dates. It had that song by 311 on it. I loved 311 so much. Maybe covering one of their songs would be good. The Killers. The Killers, just don't touch Mr. Brightside. Yes, Hot Fuss is timeless. That whole album. Midnight Show. If I were to do a Killer song, I'd probably do Midnight Show. I love the Donnie Darko soundtrack. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. I want to look it up because I don't know what was on it. Do. Show me all of this. Show me all the songs. Okay. Oh no, I don't think I recognize any of these. Why aren't you just showing me? I have to go to Wikipedia. Wait. So it just tells me the name of the songs. It's not telling me what bands there are. That were on it. So I don't. Come on, you guys. Are we gonna get this together or what? There's 2 discs? Oh my goodness. Wait, this is confusing me. I need to look something up. I need to find out. Because for some reason, Cruel Intentions. I feel like Cruel Intentions, and American Pie had good soundtracks. Let's see here. Every Me by Placebo. I don't remember that. Coffee and TV by Blur. I remember Blur and I loved Blur, but remember, woohoo! Oh, Bittersweet Symphony. Oh, that's right. Bittersweet Symphony was on there. Okay, well, there's Coming Up From Behind by Marcy Playground. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on here that is recognizable. What do I think? American Pie soundtrack. Yeah, again, nothing really. Glory by Sugar Ray. So there's a lot of bands on here on the American Pie soundtrack that are recognizable. Third Eye Blind, Tonic, Blink 182, and none of these songs though I remember listening. I don't remember any movie soundtracks that I really liked. Now, Blur became the Gorillas. Did they? Well, I feel heavy metal. The chick from the music video of Mr. Brightside was also strangely hot for a frizz head. I never actually saw that video. Wait, hold on. I can't remember which songs off the top of my head, but there's one killer song that starts the exact same as Pixie's song, but now that I'm trying to think of it, it eludes me. Was it off of Hot Fuzz? We must find out. Blur did not become the Gorillas, LMFAO if they did. My guess is maybe they became a band that was similar to them. I don't think that they actually did become them. How do we find out? Isn't Blur still Blur though? Okay, so people have Googled this before? No, Blur did not become the Gorillas. Damon Albarn, the lead singer of Blur, was the creator and primary artist behind Gorillaz. Okay, Gorillaz is a virtual band formed by Albarn and Jamie Hewlett. You know what's funny is the Gorillaz kind of creeped me out because of that. Like for them, they were like, yeah, Damon created them. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so what's a good cover song? I'm or let's start here. If I'm going to start learning the guitar, what songs do I need to learn first? Wonderwall. I have to learn Wonderwall. I need to learn 5 songs on the guitar. Acoustic or electric? I have an acoustic. Wheels on the Bus. Smelly Cat. Oh my God, actually, that's a really good. That's a really good idea. Okay, Sweet Home Alabama poem by Taproot. That was my first. I hate Taproot. Well, then why would I want to? I need to write this down. I need another mouse pad. I'm trying to write on my mouse pad. Oh, but it's easy. Okay. Iron Man. Wait. Yeah, why do you hate Taproot? The radio station I listen to has a daily segment called Bring to a Boil and Cover, where they play a cover and then the original, and it's awesome. Ooh, I like that. So they say Iron Man is a good first song to start with. Okay. Metallica, The Four Horsemen. That sounds like it's not going to be easy. You know, maybe I'll just learn Mother by Danzig. That would be hard, especially on acoustic. Yeah. I'm putting Iron Man on the list just in case. I need a new mouse pad because I'm trying to write notes on my mouse pad. Why am I not putting this one in my phone? I don't know. So wait, are Metallica songs easy to play? I don't remember. Puff the Magic Dragon would be a good one. Pick songs that resonate with you and have some basic chords like G, C, and D. Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking like it's gonna have to be. I'm probably gonna have to go with songs that are already acoustic, just because. You do not recommend a Dave Mustaine written song as a first song. Yeah, exactly. What? Wait. Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy is a guilt or pleasure I like to play. Okay, remember I'm a novice. So is that gonna be easy? Oh, what to start with is what you really want to depends on what you want to do with it. Mm. Right out with $10. I love the blue top with cardigan. Shows off your Pennsylvania Dutchness. If you plan on singing while playing, pick songs that you like to also sing. Oh yeah, it's a good idea. If you want to teach yourself more riffs and lead guitar, look up tabs instead of chords. Okay. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Soundgarden, Outshined, or Black Hole Sun. Okay. I feel like some of these I'm overthinking it. I'm like, well, it's gonna be too complicated, but then maybe it's actually not. Okay, here we go. Complicated by Avril Lavigne is so fun to play. And if you learn that, then you can also play Constipated by Weird Al. Okay, that actually, I'm gonna do Complicated and Skater Boy. We're gonna do that. Incubus Drive. Okay. This could be good. Russell Hall. Stairway is a requirement of the meta. Oh my God. Wait, do you think Smoke on the Water would be a good one? Maybe not on acoustic, huh? Wait, I'm self-taught and have been playing for over 15 years. Unfortunately, my brother is an amazing musician and helped me with stuff I was stuck on. Lucky. I don't know. Well, maybe I could be self-taught. I've taught myself a lot of other things. So maybe I'm just not giving myself credit. I just need to like play. Yep, that's what it is. If you honestly, if you give yourself permission to suck ass at it, you'll never get it. Wait, you have to give I know what you mean. I'm just not reading properly. You have to give yourself permission to suck ass at it or you'll never get it. John Mellencamp's pussy got hurt when Pat McAfee trolled Ben Stiller. Is that a song or are you just telling me some lore? Okay, we're gonna. All right. These are fun. I really want to learn Smelly Cat now. That might be the one that I'm like most excited about. But yeah, I think I just need to start with like a couple of songs that are going to be like easy to learn and then because like singing and playing is going to be difficult. Michelle Branch Everywhere is a fun one to play, but a lot of picking rather than chords. That could be fun. Like there's one song that like it really bothers me. I really like it a lot. It's called Never Ready to Leave by Sherwood, and it starts off with acoustic, and so and it sounds like it could be easy to play, but then it goes into electric and also playing piano and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how to turn that into just acoustic. And I would like to learn how to play it though, because I really like that song a lot. Man, I just realized I haven't listened to that song in a minute. I listened to it on repeat. It was my number one listened to song last year because I listened to it so much last year. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to pick a Beach Boys song. I'm gonna have to pick a Charles Manson song and a Beach Boys song as well, and then we'll have some stuff to dink around with. I'm just gonna write down. K-Mix. Can't hold on. I'm sorry. I lost it. I'm just gonna. Oh, got the right one actually. Courtney, did you play any instruments growing up or sing in the choir? Music seems like it's always an interest of yours. I was in the marching band for what it's worth. I was in choir in middle school and high school, and when I was in high school, I learned very basics on piano and guitar. More so piano than guitar, but the hardest riff to learn is any riff by the Dillinger Escape Plan. Well, then I am not going to play that. My friend that's a guitar teacher said that students that went into lessons wanting to learn specific songs almost always did better than the ones that wanted to learn theory. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, because like I feel like if I just learn theory, then I'm not going to have anything to like want to play. You know what I mean? So like just practicing whatever. I'm just going to strum these couple of chords a few times. Like there's nothing there to actually practice, right? Like I want to be able to, I want to learn theory and stuff. I want to be able to like know how to, how do I learn tabs and chords and blah, 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 like all that stuff. I want to learn that stuff, but I also want to know, like, I'd rather learn how to recognize that type of music on a song than just some practice sheet that doesn't translate to anything. So that, because, if I hear a song and then I see what it looks like on a music sheet, then it's easier to translate for me. And also, again, like gives me something to actually practice versus just, kind of tinkering around. So if you want to learn Adderall, if you want to learn guitar, Adderall might help. Well, give me a couple $100. I need $400. I need a visit, a doctor visit, and then I also need to be able to purchase a couple months worth of meds. So, I'll figure it out one day. Learn piano, learn to set. Well, okay, Frank. Learn to set rate. It'll make every other instrument easier to learn. Here's the thing. I don't have a piano to learn on. I have an acoustic guitar to learn on, though. If I had a piano, it would be different. Because honestly, I playing piano was a lot easier for me, but I also had access to one when I was in choir. Like there were a lot of times when I would stay after school and like play on the piano and stuff like that. And so like, but I don't, I'm 39. I don't have, if I went to a high school to like play piano, I would get arrested. So the warranty on my brain has been renewed for another year. Mine lost its warranty. I think I have to buy a new one. I don't think that's how it works. How what works? I don't know anymore. Just teach your dogs to play instruments. They hate them. They're scared of instruments. Remember? School, I'm almost 39. Well, I'm about to turn 40 and pick up a cheesy keyboard at a department store. You guys act like I'm rolling in money. I'll pick up a cheesy keyboard at a department store in a couple of years when I'm back to having more disposable income. But right now, I have a guitar and I'm going to practice guitar. Why can't we just accept this? I'm 27. Okay, so you're about to turn 39 in a few years. Okay. They only arrest you if you're a guy and you break into a high school. I just don't well, they'll at least kick me out. They'll be like, "What are you doing here? Please leave." When my dog stopped leaving the room was when I was, well, God, I can't read. When my dog stopped leaving the room when I was playing was when I finally felt like I was getting somewhere. I'm 36. Are we all giving our ages out now? I'm 175. I'm turning 28 soon. My God, where have my 20s gone? Well, let me tell you. I'm about to lose my 30s in a minute here. Oh, Russell. Hold on a second. I think I hear a dog. Hey, I want your money. Give me your money. Super chat. Super chat. Give me all your money. 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 I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. Give me your money.
I wish somebody were funding me. I'm poor.
We have a rare Penelope sighting. Any Gen Z Courtney fans? I don't know, man. Probably not. Hi, sweet girl. You're very beautiful. I love you. She's not in attack mode right now, which is good. You're so sweet. Okay. No, she always wants to yank my shirt off. Get your paw. Oh, I guess Dan Nouveau is Gen Z just barely. Well, you don't eat Tide Pods like the other ones, okay? When I say, Gen Z eats Tide Pods, that doesn't include my viewers. Any of my viewers that are Gen Z are not Tide Pod eaters, okay? Gen Z is 97 to 2012. Please keep doing it, Penelope. She always because she gets nervous when she's not like on like a solid surface, right? So when I hold her, she'll start shoving her paws in like different articles of clothing, trying to like get stability. Morning, Mayhem. Hello. Wait, did I see that it was your birthday? Was it your birthday? Does anyone else have a birthday? Here. We're gonna have to re-record this one because it has a little stank of a big dum-dum on it, but we'll play this right now. You can clip this and save this for yourself for another day. Save this for your own birthday, whenever your birthday is, okay? I haven't warmed up. I apologize. I'm nervous now. Happy birthday to you. This is your day. And on this day for you, we're gonna love you in every way. This is your day, your day. Happy birthday to you, to you, to you, to you, to you. Happy birthday to you. You're still young. Age is just a number. Don't you stop having fun. This is your day, your day. Happy birthday to you, to you, to you, to you, to you. All right? Clip it, save it for your birthday, and then thank me when it happens. Did you play the WrestleMania clip I made with you and the bear? No. Wait, how did I miss this? Okay, so that's not it. I don't see it. Did you wait? Was it something that you tagged me in? Wait. Have you ever been to a gay wedding? All weddings are gay. There. Wait, okay. Wait, did you put it in the Discord? Is that where it was? I feel like oh wait, it's right here. But also, how did I miss that? Oh, he just sent it. Did I see this and just forget? I don't know what's going on here. Can we stop doing that? Okay, no. Oh, I replied to it. Hold on. Oink. Let me see here. Since Twitter is being weird and wants to show everybody my DMs. Wow. Okay, there we go. WrestleMania fan art. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. There it is. Maybe Twitter will be better. I like there's two of me for some reason. Why was there two of me here? Again, I think we just entered Scoundrel's brain. Yeah, what the hell? Scoundrel sends me some of the most ridiculous stuff. What on earth is this? What the hell is this? This is from Scoundrel. This was art that was created by Scoundrel. Sorry, I did not preface that at all. I just went for it. But yes, Scoundrel is an AI master, and he did this.
Moot point.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nightmare fuel. Look what you've done, Courtney. Look, I used your billboard on X as a reference, your reference image. Well, thank you. Yeah, those are some pretty cool pictures. But yeah, there's there some pretty cool AI fan art there from Scoundrel. If you've ever seen anything that he's created, it's definitely Oh, by the way, check this out. Look what Carrie R found. After we were talking about Dr. Squatch was making soap with what's her name? Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. Then we were also talking about the Cowabunga balls. Turns out Dr. Squatch has Cowabunga cleanse. I love that. That was a pretty funny find. The orange jumpsuit looked good on you. Thank you. I do like that I looked very mentally. I looked like I wasn't playing with a full deck. All right, you guys. Let's look at Greta Thunberg real quick. This is just a quick video. So apparently she's on, what is it called? Is it a flotilla? Flotilla? I feel like it's supposed to be flotilla, but I'm white and American. And Isabella Live just caught you. Love it. Well, hello. We were just talking about cover songs and stuff. Morgan, if you what do you think a good song to cover is? What would you suggest to learn on the guitar? While you're thinking about that, we're gonna talk about no, I'm pretty sure it's flotilla. What's funny, so like, okay, I looked it up. Maybe I might have like completely misinterpreted what I was reading. Okay, so flotilla. Okay, it just says it's a sheep, a fleet of ships or boats. Okay. Maybe it is a flotilla then, because I thought I saw something about it specifically being like a Mexican something or other, and then so I was like, oh, then maybe it's supposed to be pronounced like in Spanish, but it's flotilla. It's flotilla here. Oh, okay, Sweet Home Alabama. That was actually suggested earlier. It's raining men. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen. God bless Mother Nature. She's a single woman too. She took to the heavens and she knew what she had to do. YMCA. Has anyone seen that super gay commercial that Caitlyn Jenner did back when she was still Bruce for the YMCA? It was pretty gay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it, but it was like, well, okay, bunch of dudes hanging out naked in a hot tub, splashing around. I don't know, man. Jerry Halliwell did a remake of that song. Did she? Your voice is your instrument. I want to play the guitar. Has anyone here seen Paper Moon? Isn't it so funny? I'm not really like a movie watcher, and I really am like bad at remembering like lines from movies and all that stuff. But I remember when I was a kid, we watched Paper Moon, and my sister really loved it. And there was the line, by Shirley Temple. She was very upset because the guy that like had her performing or whatever, he was supposed to pay her and he didn't. And she's like, I want my $200. That's what I think of. If only Mickey Rourke had been there to tell it to stop being gay. That whole situation is very weird. 'Cause I do have to say, like, from a serious perspective, I would have been really upset if I were her too. Like, he was making comments basically about like essentially raping her, which is disgusting and would like freak me out if somebody was, oh, I'll tie you up and keep you there for 4 days or whatever. It's like, oh my God, that's horrifying. You're a nut job. And his behavior was so gross of like essentially being threatened that there was a woman there that definitely didn't want to sleep with him. But it's like, no, nobody here wants to sleep with you. You are ugly and disgusting. Look at your mangled face, you freak. What is wrong with you? Not to mention the fact you're immature and childish and threatened that a 21-year-old girl who you should be looking at as like a little baby doesn't want to sleep with you. That's fucking weird. Like the whole thing was just weird, but it's also like, wow, what a strange turn of events here. And also like when she turned around, when she was like, oh, I'm coming out, like I'm not a lesbian anymore, I'm queer. Originally, because she was trying to come out as non-binary, and so I thought she was going to do that whole song and dance of like, I'm non-binary, my partner's non-binary, and so we're not lesbians because we're not women, and so we're queer. But then she just turned straight around and was like, no, I'm breaking up with my non-binary girlfriend so that I can be with this dude. I do have to say though, like when she first was like, I'm gay and all this stuff, it all just seemed like a performance. It didn't really seem like there was any substance to it. It just seemed like it was all kind of fake. Like with her wanting to be the first lesbian or whatever to dance with a girl on Dancing with the Stars, and then she what was it? Oh, then she was like trying to create a feud with Candace Cameron Bure because Candace Cameron Bure is like very outspoken about being, super Christian and stuff like that. And of course, Candace Cameron Bure is like, I'm old, I'm not going to put up with this. So she was very, very mature and like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean this is like all this stuff. Cause remember that game that people would play? I think it was on TikTok. They'd be like, they would ask like controversial questions and then they would take their phone and like type the answer and then go, and people like would screenshot it. And someone said like, who was the rudest celebrity you met? And it said Candace Cameron Bure. And she's like, oh, it's because there was this thing, this like, what was it? Like a Full House premiere or whatever. And she was walking the red carpet and I wanted to take a picture and she turned me down. And Candace Cameron Bure was like, oh, I'm so sorry. If I had, was able to even like step in and say anything, I would have. It's just that we were getting like rushed, down the red carpet or whatever. And we weren't allowed to like stop and hang out. And I didn't mean to make you feel shunned, like all this stuff. And like, when she did turn her down, I guess it wasn't even her. It was like one of her handlers or something. It just, the whole thing was very stupid. Like, okay, so you clearly were like a small child, not understanding how this kind of stuff works. And your mom shouldn't have taken you there. So the rudest person out there that you met in general is your mom. I don't know why you don't hate your mom yet. Nirvana's Heart-Shaped Box would be a fun on the guitar and probably one you'd enjoy singing along with. I do think Nirvana does have like some pretty easy to learn songs too. I should write that down. I'm going to come back and look at this and be like, wow, I can't read anything I wrote. So Smelly Cat, Iron Man, Complicated, and Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, Drive by Incubus, Smoke on the Water, Everywhere by Michelle Branch. Then we have at least one song by Charles Manson, at least one song by Beach Boys. We haven't figured those ones out yet. Now we have Heart-Shaped Box. Okay. That was Channing Tatum, not Shirley Temple. Tatum O'Neal. Wait, that was Tatum O'Neal in Paper Moon? Wait, why did I think that was Shirley Temple? Hold the phone. It was Tatum O'Neal. Well, sorry, Tatum O'Neal. I did not mean that. Why did I think that was? I bet you it was my dumb mom just trying to. Madonna faked being gay. Oh yeah, she did. Like rebellion against her mom and managers. Yeah, I do. I'm just telling you, like, I feel like that whole that whole plot of hers with the whole, like, oh, let's be a lesbian or whatever. I feel like that was something that was planned by her handlers or whoever, and it was all just kind of faked. Like nothing about it really seemed very authentic. It just seemed like she was faking all of it. Jojo also said that Candace was rude to her on Kelly Clarkson's show, but I don't see how she brought her. I don't see how she brought her a Christmas present. Yeah, that's the thing. Like she was making it all up and faking it to essentially find somebody who was clearly like, the opposite of lesbian, somebody that she could say is like, oh, she hates gay people and I'm gay, right? So she's trying to find somebody like that, somebody who maybe doesn't support an LGBTQ anyone, right? And which I don't really know her thoughts on that. Really, I don't follow Candace Cameron Bure. I don't know exactly where she stands. I just know that she's very Christian. But yeah, it just seemed like she was making it all up to try and have a feud because she's saying I'm a lesbian, and then Candace Cameron Bure is definitely not. And it's just I'm so maybe I'm super immature, but like if I were Candace Cameron Bure, I would have been like, oh, fuck off. You've been in this industry long enough to know how this kind of stuff goes. Don't be playing that game. Shut up. Grow up. But she was a lot nicer than I was. But I guess technically I'm not a Christian either, so. Okay, Greta Thunberg. She's on a flotilla or a tortilla or something like that. Apparently, this is extra weird. I had to look at a map because, I don't know where every place is located. But this guy said that they're 80 kilometers off the coast of Greece. Okay. Anyway, let's watch this. So she's on her tortilla floating along to Gaza. Okay. And let's just watch her smile through the whole thing. Look, she's already smiling. Hey, social media.
Hello, everyone. We are reporting here from the Babbling. We are right now at 80 kilometers from Greek lands and 68 kilometers from Greek territorial waters. What happened is that we just spotted a drone, and we confirmed it is a drone, but we just lost visual with it. It could have either turned back or turned off the lights. We have our safety procedures here, and it demands us to go get all of our life jackets. We prepare.
Alrighty, I'm just wondering, what is she even doing in the frame?
To alert level at the maximum, especially if it's approaching us.
She can't stop smiling.
We sound the alarm for you. Now we count on all of you to share what's going on here and to please let the world know that we are 80 kilometers from Greece and we need.
She's still smiling.
That's it. Please send this distress signal to everyone. We need your support right now.
But she also didn't say anything, and I don't understand why. So the thing is, couldn't they have? I mean, maybe they couldn't have done left Cyprus, maybe, but what else? Wait, hold on. What else is over there? But they could have done this. Did they leave? Where did they launch from? They launched from Greece. Why are they so close to Greece? I feel like that's way too far away. It looks like they're on a blow up raft. Like it doesn't look like they're on a sophisticated, or maybe it's not a raft. Maybe there's a structure above their head and I just didn't notice. It doesn't look very sophisticated though. Like it already looks very unsafe. It doesn't look like something that they could just go from Greece Yeah, could they have not left, like, I don't know, maybe could they have left Turkey? Could they have gone from Turkey, right? Turkey? Probably not Lebanon. But wouldn't Turkey have been a little bit safer? I feel like they could have been able to do this. Did they just float in the wrong direction? Did they accidentally leave Turkey and then scoot over to Greece instead? Is that why they're in danger? And why are they in danger? So did the drone that they order was a bad one? I don't understand this connection too. Like he was like, okay, we just ordered a drone, we lost visual of it. Okay. Okay. But then what? Like, are you sinking? Did you lose power? I just don't know. Did you ever even have power? I don't understand the issue. Like, what's the connection with the drone and that, like, being the problem? Like, I've been on boats before. And I didn't need a drone ever. When back in the 90s, we didn't even have drones when I was on boats. But did they lose touch with the rest of the fleet? Is that the problem? Like, what is going on here? They didn't say anything. But she's smiling the whole time. But Courtney, Greta is going to save the world. Why didn't she speak? I don't know. She's high. She is high. Is this fake? It looks fake. Everything that she's been doing looks fake to me. There's American military base right on Cyprus. So they could have actually done this from Cyprus. They could have gone to Cyprus and then hopped on their raft and then scooted on over to the Gaza Strip. Oh, fuck this. Let's find her fucking boat right now. Well, he said that they're 60 kilometers away from Greek territory, like Greek territory, in the water, right? They're 80 kilometers off the coast of Greece, and then it's 60 kilometers away from the actual, like, territory in the water. When was this? This was just like within the last couple of days. I can't remember exactly when, but it was like really, really recent. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. I'm looking right now. Oh, we're gonna find out exactly where Greta Thunberg is. Let's see here. When was this? So this was posted. Well, I stumbled upon this post yesterday, it looks like. It's a joint base with the British. They used to have a number station on that base that broadcasted coded messages. She looks like she's holding an accordion. Do you know what type of boat she's on or the name of the boat? No. They said it was a flotilla or a tortilla or something. Greta Thunberg is currently sailing on a boat named Madeleine. This boat is part of the Freedom Flotilla Coalition's effort to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza, which is under Israeli blockade. The Madeleine, Madleen, departed from Sicily, Catania, Sicily on June 1st. Why? Okay, so they left Sicily. I mean, I guess like, I guess that's probably where, since they're providing aid, I guess like they're in people of Sicily was collecting aid to send over there, and that's why they left from Sicily. I just don't know why they wouldn't have been able, if they have to get there by boat and they can't like fly in. I don't know why they couldn't have flown with the supplies like to a closer location and then um get on their tortilla, you know? How much money do you think we're spending to protect this dumb broad from jihadi terrorists? We shouldn't be spending any money on that. Isn't she Swedish? Why isn't Sweden spending money on that? Why would we? We're not. Found them. Hold on. Uh-oh. The conspiracy theorist in me wants to scream fake news. I mean, there is a part of me that's just like, I don't even, they're in a studio. Everything's fake. There's so much like, dude. So if I don't know how many people here got to watch any of the, the Hitler themed stream that I did with Brad on Monday, but so he was reading Mein Kampf to us, and like everything that we were reviewing, because we were kind of skipping around and just going over some like strong talking points, and everything that he was talking about in there was all about like, this is how you brainwash people, this is how you get them to believe you, like. And at one point he even said something that was like basically an AOC quote. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I stopped. I was like, wait. He basically just said it's better to be morally correct than factually, or morally, it's better to be factually incorrect than morally wrong. And I was like, and he's, essentially talking about like the best way to like control people and their thought process is to manipulate their emotions, and how like you're going to get through to them better by being morally superior versus like having your facts correct. That is morally incorrect though. Wait, hold on. What did I say? It's better to be morally. What? Say that backwards again. I didn't understand. I don't remember okay, hold on. It's better to be morally right than factually incorrect, right? No, not factually incorrect. Sorry. It's better to be morally right than factually correct. Yeah. She essentially was saying like, basically don't have facts, have morals. Yeah. You can be wrong on a subject as long as you're morally right, was what she was going for. I'm just an idiot and I'm not wording it correctly. And he was saying the same thing though. Like you don't necessarily have to have all the facts straight. It's just, you have to play on their morals. You have to like manipulate their emotions and all that. And I'm like this. That's dumb as hell. It is dumb as hell. Yeah. And here's the thing. Hitler said it. And so did AOC. So it was very interesting though, just to see like, we've been manipulated by media for decades and for centuries, right? With print media, with radio, with TV, now with the internet. It's all been you aren't an idiot, Courtney. You're a derp. There we go. I definitely am a derp. Yeah, that sounds like the ideology of everybody on my Facebook page. Yeah. I mean, that's actually one thing that really like I had to work through for a while, because I definitely had I was for a brief time there was a little bit more easier to manipulate through emotion. And I just kind of went like, what I started realizing though, how many things that the media got wrong and how like, oh my God, these people are lying to me. Like, so they're trying to play on my emotions to make me look like a bad person if I don't immediately have like a complete empathy for whatever's going on. But they don't even have, they're not being morally correct by lying. Like they're telling me lies right now. And they don't even care. Even if there's a correction made, they don't care because they're like, they think it's better to, I don't know, manipulate emotions. I don't even know what it is. Weaponized ADHD with tactical autism that speaks. Weaponized? I don't weaponize it. I don't mean to. I'm trying. I miss when we be able to call people fucking on the internet without getting banned. I know. One time I used an F slur on Twitter and Twitter got mad at me and was like, you need to, what is it? Like, you need to prove that you're human and blah, 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 like all this stuff. Like, I was like, why? You should know that I'm a human because like this word I think is funny. Back in my day, it was used to just tell somebody that they were, in fact, not gay. We didn't care if they were gay. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Yeah. And it's kind of funny because usually it's very easy to have that like mindset when you're like, you know, in a romantic involvement with somebody. It's just interesting. Like, how much do you love media and government and all of that that you're like willing to believe all that nonsense through the TV? Silence is violence. Yeah, especially white silence. Remember Eminem lyrics back then? Yeah, I remember like the way that he was saying, like, no, I don't mean faggot like a gay person. I mean like, and that's, yeah. I called someone a C word on Facebook because she made fun of my weight. I got banned. She didn't. Wow. Ew. That's disgusting. I hate Facebook so much. Facebook makes me, I use like Instagram and Facebook like very rarely. And every time I open them up though, I feel brain dead. Ha ha, silence is violence. Some might even say deadly. Like that, right? Like a, I keep using the word retarded to describe everything in work. Amazing. I've gotten away with it for this long. Oh my God. So at the last place that I worked at, there was a lot of like hella lefty people, right? Like I remember on my first day, one of the girls from another location. So when at the place I was working at, it ended up 2 people working there pretty much were just me and my boss, but somebody came from another location and she and my boss were like yammering away about, it felt so brain dead because I'm listening to her like, my uncle is super liberal and he lives in Texas and he says it's fine. You know, it's like crazy. You know, here he is just a liberal dude just living amongst all these Republicans. And I'm like, yeah, that's how like normal life works. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, during election season, you know, when I would walk my dogs through the neighborhood, I would see signs for Biden and Harris and for Trump, sometimes right next to each other. One in one lawn, one in the next lawn right next to each other. Whatever, man. Nobody, I don't even remember which houses it was. I've seen a couple people coming out of those same exact houses that I'm thinking of right now. And I like all of them just fine. I say hello to them every day. Sometimes some of them will stop by and pet my dogs. Don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care who you voted for, like, or what all of your political beliefs are. Because honestly, when it comes to people who prefer to vote Democrat, I don't think that they are really fully supporting everything that I dislike. Right? I think that for the most part, they genuinely believe that a Democrat president is just a lesser of the 2 evils And it's not necessarily like, oh my gosh, there's specific policies that we absolutely have to follow or whatever. Like I think it's more so that that they just have a genuine belief that they have something weird stopping on my computer. They just have a genuine belief that like Trump really is terrible and he is just like not as good of a candidate, right? And even if anyway, so back to what I was saying though about like the people that I used to work with, like I at the time, like I quit my job and didn't work. I didn't work for like I think 6 months or something like that, and so I was spending a lot of time not having professional conversations, and I definitely used the word retarded in front of my boss, and he got so uncomfortable, and it was just so funny because the dude's like almost 50, and he's like the most childish. He's very childish, very emotional. It makes sense that he like absolutely hates Donald Trump so much, and he's one of the internet leftists, like basically like the crazy ones that you're like, this has to be a bot, like those types where it's like some of them you're like, this for sure has to just be a bot that was made up by like a 3-letter agency to try and manipulate minds and stuff. But that was my boss, like he was like a human form of that. It was really bad. But yeah, no, he got very uncomfortable when I would use the word retarded. I kept trying to not use it, but sometimes it just kind of came out. Tim F, hello. But what about the blacks? Believe it or not, there are some black people that live in my neighborhood, and they're all normal. They're all pretty cool. I like them. One of them is actually like probably a bit classier than I am. He works very hard at keeping his lawn looking nice, and I don't. The power of not having an HOA. AV Tom, hello. Hey, everybody who just got here, what song? What song do you think I should learn on guitar? Oh, Fayefire's here. Hello. It's good to see you in chat. Hello. I actually just read your message right before I started. You remind me of a taco salad. It's good to see you. Scoundrel, Twump was crazy. Well, and see, that's the thing. There are people out there that are like way out there. Like, hello, I don't love him so much that I want to marry him. And honestly, there's some things about his presidency that's been rather disappointing to me. But I just felt like, for me at the time, all I could think was like, I just feel like this is going to be a better option. And I feel like genuinely, no matter who you vote for, a lot of times that's what you think. And it's just, you're not like an internet right-wing extremist or an internet leftist. You're just like a normal person that just is like genuinely making a decision based on what makes the most sense for you in your situation or your family or whatever. MA, yeah. Anytime I get down to the actual specific issues, almost everyone I know have talked to about it agrees on the basics, but disagree on how to get things the way they want. And that is exactly what it is like there's so many things that are issues that people agree on. It's just that there's like, I vote you learn a Nickelback song. Usually like there are issues that pretty much people agree on. It's just there are different factors regarding it that like essentially differ from each other, or the solution isn't everyone the two parties are just don't agree on what the solution actually is. Like BLM, or sorry, not BLM, ACAB. I don't necessarily think cops are racist. I think that they're not here to help any of us. They don't like any of us. They're not here to help us. They have a quota. They have goals to hit. They don't care about you. They just want to get a ticket out. They just want to get an arrest out. They just want, like, I fucking got profiled. Look at me. Hello. I am white. I'm white as hell. I got profiled because my car looks like a poor person's car. Did I tell you guys this story? Oh my God. Yeah. So I had a 1995 Ford Explorer. I think I washed it once. And it was like the first day that I started driving it. And I was driving home one night after hanging out with a friend of mine, and like we were just hanging out at a coffee shop for a couple hours or whatever. I got profiled. They pulled me over because they were looking for somebody named Julio, and my car looked like his. Oh, that's weird. You don't know how to run a license plate? You can run a license plate real quick and find out that this car was never in Julio's name. Or because apparently like he had been pulled over in a car that looks like that and got a DUI is what they told me. Well, then do you not have the license plate number of that car? Could you not run mine and see that it doesn't compare? No, they saw what they thought was like a super poor person and thought that it was possible that my car was either going to smell like weed or I was going to smell like alcohol or whatever. And so then when they pulled me over and they saw me, they were like, huh. And they're like, do you know this person Julio? I was like, no, I don't know a person named Julio. In the back of my mind, I was like, I do know somebody who got a DUI in this car, but his name is definitely not Julio. But it's also like before the car was in my name, so there's also that. But like, so they profile because they were looking for an excuse to try and investigate, like try and search my car and find something suspicious. But then they like, it didn't smell suspicious. There was nothing suspicious going on. And so, they let me on my day. But yeah, I got profiled because it looked like they could ruin my life, and they could have. So it's not, they're just looking to ruin anybody's life. They're not worried about race so much. Now, granted, he probably could have done a little racist moment and been like, oh, she's white. Maybe she's just driving like a hand-me-down car, or maybe her car is in the shop and this is just a backup car that they, she and her family drive around. They have to put their car in the shop or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they just assumed like, oh, since she's white, maybe like it'll be easier for her to get out of this or something. Who knows? But the initial stop, they didn't care. They were looking for a poor person to ruin. COVID got me out of a DUI. I did the license on the glass without rolling down the. Hoosier, that's bad. Similar thing happened to me when I had my old Mustang. First question she asked is if I had any weed or alcohol in the car. Yeah. And like they just don't like any of us. It's not a race thing, right? Like, it's assumed that, oh, they hate black people. No, they hate all of us. They don't like any of us. You're conventionally white. Yes. So Colton, does that mean that does your mom like the way that I look though, then? Is that, because I don't look Korean? ACAB is still valid though. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I am actually even willing to believe that there are people out there. I've met people, by the way, who've like joined the police force specifically because they wanted to actually protect and serve their communities. How many are there compared to the shitty cops? I don't know. I have no idea. And there are some places where they are a million times worse than others. Have I had decent interactions with cops? Yeah. I've been pulled over for speeding quite a few times. And some interactions, just fine. Some of the one interaction, terrible. And then, getting pulled over for, being poor. I first learned F the police from rednecks I grew up around. Well, yeah. And that's the thing with rednecks. See, that's the thing, because rednecks are like, I shouldn't need a license to drive. The hell are you talking about? There was a video. Do I still have it saved? Let me see if I still have it saved. I don't know if we're going to talk about Jonathan Joss today. That's a wild story. Don't tell me. Did I unsave it? Like the one think I had it saved for a really long time and then was just like, I don't think we're ever going to watch this. Still got Stalin's daughter saved, though. Oh, man, remember that time that I crashed into a tree? Oh, and the little kitty dancing. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff saved that we've already watched, really. There's the raccoon. Oh, there's the musician dog. Oh, there's a bird petting a dog. I feel like it's way down here though. If I exists. Oh, gotta go. Let's see here. Boop, and there's the birds. Okay. I unsaved it. But it was like forever ago. I think probably back in like the 70s. People were upset that like you couldn't drink and drive. They were like, hey man, if I had a long day and I just want to crack a beer on the way home, why can't I do it? That's a redneck thing for sure, right? Like, just leave me alone. That's, and that's pretty much my whole existence is like, just leave me alone, man. I'm an American. I'm not hurting anybody. Leave me alone. And I feel like it should be that way. Does Washington have rednecks? Yes. Oh, yeah. All of Eastern Washington is rednecks. And the peninsula is a lot of rednecks. I have family that pretty much owns the woods in Eastern Washington, or not Eastern Washington, on the peninsula. And that's honestly like sometimes driving down the road to get there, or down the road, like leading up to that area, you can start seeing like visions of a horror movie, like, ooh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit going on here. Seattle police are some of the biggest dickheads I've ever met. They rival most Florida police easily. Yeah, so just like, get out of my business. I get it if you're gonna pull people over for speeding, fine. Although I'm still against it, but fine, whatever. That's part of it. But like, dude, they act like they don't have anything better to do. When it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot of wild stuff happening, like in King County specifically. Like, can you go regulate some of that stuff? Driving while poor. Yeah, that's what I got pulled over for. He couldn't give me a ticket because I was driving the speed limit. So he like no citation, no nothing. I love street racing. Don't call the cops on that. I just feel like, well, it's dangerous, first of all. So you be careful, but also that is illegal and probably something that I won't call the cops, but like unless you beat me, which you would because my car doesn't go that fast. Oh, okay, not Gino. They pull you over because you're a pretty blonde, Courtney. Well, they're very bad at flirting then. I got pulled over for not turning my lights on once. And that was annoying because I was sitting in a parking lot and I didn't want to turn my lights on right away, right? Because like I was warming my car up and I didn't want to turn the lights on and like have them flashing into the business that my car was facing. It was when I was in beauty school. So I was just getting out of school. I didn't want my headlights like shining in the business while I was warming my car up. But it took a long time to warm my car up sometimes. Sometimes it would be like 10 minutes. So the parking lot is lit. The streets are lit. So as I was pulling out, like I was like, it didn't even cross my mind because I could see just fine. And so like it didn't dawn on me. Well, guess what? The cop wouldn't even have noticed. I'm just gonna tell you something. The cop wouldn't even have noticed that my headlights weren't on, except for somebody driving towards me flashed their headlights at me and I got pulled over. So I was like, oh shit. And so I turned them on, kept going. And then the cop pulled me over and was like, what's your problem? Why don't you have your lights on? I explained. I was like, well, I was warming my car up for a long time. And so I could see just fine. It didn't cross my mind to like, I forgot to turn them on because I in my mind they were already on. Whoops. Yeah. So I got pulled over that once. I got pulled over Usually I just get pulled over for speeding though. So I got pulled over for being poor. I got pulled over for not having my lights on. And then other than that, it was going like, and it's always like, I'd be going like 80 plus on the freeway. And then they'd be like, look, I'll just give you a ticket for like 75, slow down. I'm like, ooh, the amount of times I would have had to go to court for reckless driving, which is stupid. If my piece of shit car can go 80 miles an hour, so can yours. Get out of the way. My brakes work just fine. Ooh, I posted in your Discord a bunch of stuff about the Black Dahlia thing I was talking about the other day. No rush on looking at it though. Ooh, what channel was it in? Was it Live Topics? I'll go look. And in Alabama, the passenger can have an open container. Then why didn't my dad just move to Alabama? What was his problem? What a dum-dum. Fast and Furious. Yeah. You flash your headlights. You get out of here. Oh, it's in Killer Chemistry? Okay. I will look. I was doing 85 and a 45 last night. So in a 45, I could probably be caught going like maybe like up to 60. Usually like roughly 55 though. But most like areas that I drive that are 45 are not 45 for like a long period of time and usually go up to like 50 or 55 at some point. And so just maintain the speed because why not? But yeah, usually on the freeway, I'm going like roughly 80, sometimes 85. I got out of potentially going to jail for speeding because I was in a different country than the cop belonged to, and he was heading home. What? Oh, different county. Whoops, not a country. Then the cop belonged to, and he was heading home. I was doing 160. That's always nice. Like when you when you get a cop that's like, it's the end of my shift. I just want you to slow down. Okay. I'm not trying to do all this. I didn't call it in on purpose. Whatever, you know? I think to imagine Courtney drives a pink Volkswagen Beetle. No, I do have a Volkswagen though. Because my great grandpa. Miranda Abbott. Isn't that a Sex in the City character? No. Wait. I remember one time. Oh, it's Miranda Hobbs. That's right. When Bill Schultz was on one of Gino's streams, and he was saying that Harry Bradshaw was such a funny name, and then I was like looking up different characters, like what else can we get, and I came up with Miranda Handjobs. I thought I was so clever. I thought it was so funny. And then did I just close out of it? I guess so. Because there was another one. Oh, so, okay. Because then I said her name. There was Charlotte York, and we went with Charlotte Dork and Miranda Handjobs. Harry Bradshaw, Charlotte Dork, and Miranda Handjobs. I don't think we came up with anything for Samantha Jones, though. I don't know if there is anything we could come up with, but I was proud of myself with Miranda Handjobs. I once did 110 on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. That was when I got my first Volkswagen tuned. It was so scared doing that. Yeah, dude, that sounds terrifying. Fine. I've never gone that fast. But my Jetta was like is like the, well, doesn't turn on. But if I got it to, that's like the fastest car I've had. The minivan is not as impressive. I love my Jetta so much. I need to get her back up and running immediately. Get her all detailed and cleaned up. I miss her. I love her so much. All right, I'm going pee. BRB. I forgot that Jonathan Davis beatboxed and scatted in Freak on a Leash. Does anybody remember this? Go! That guy became a millionaire from that, by the way. Here I am doing that for free, and homie was getting millions of dollars to do that on stage every night. But like seriously, how come we didn't talk about that more? Jonathan Davis is over here with his dreadlocks. Go! And we just accepted it. We turned him into a millionaire. What? We did that. We were like, this is perfect. Thank you, Jonathan Davis. I mean, for crying out loud, nowadays he would have been protested and harassed, I think, for the cultural appropriation. Corn Prodigy mashup, please. Go! Oh man. Subscribe for more of that. Yeah. Okay. What were you doing while I was gone? Yeah, Jettas are very fun to drive. Zippy as hell. Too many electrical problems though, and no fuse schematic in the manual for the year I had. Yeah, they're like almost impossible to just like replace something on your own. It's really funny. So my Jetta is a diesel, and I went to go replace the glow plugs, and ended up shattering the glow plug harness. So then I was like, well. Guess I won't be driving it until I get a new harness. And then I had to figure out like how to properly like attach, like reattach all the wires. Like, man, I'm like really fucking strong, aren't I? Just, but no, it was just old. But no, I was like really strong. I want to learn actually how to essentially take apart my car and put it all back together by myself. Because I want to keep that thing. I want to get it back up on the road, and I want to keep it forever. It's a 2006. And I have to say, I don't know if I want a car any newer than like a 2006-ish. Because like I have this Bluetooth adapter that I have to put into the cigarette holder of my car in order to listen to music from my phone. And I really actually, I love that. In fact, what I would even do, I would go so far as to doing is get like a CD player adapter that plugs into the cigarette holder. That'd be dangerous because it's hard to like switch out CDs when driving, you know? So Maybe I'll just get an iPod and do it that way. Get an adapter for an iPod, and that way, so then, I can just shut my phone off so nobody can track where I'm going. And then I can print off MapQuest directions to figure out where I'm going. Hey, Max. Any special plans for episode 100, Courtney? Maybe a panel of your friends on stream with you? That's what I'm thinking. Well, I was actually thinking because I'm not going to be able to, I want to be able to do like a long stream, like a 7 or 8 hour stream, and have people kind of come in and go and all that stuff. And I won't be able to do that while family is visiting. So I'm thinking I'll be able to like squeeze in a little bit of time here and there to do like shorter streams, like 2 to 3 hour streams. But I just wouldn't be able to do like a full 8 hour stream. So I might just do a couple of, like, I might just do a episode 100 will be like a regular stream like we do now, whatever, you know what I mean? And then when family goes back home, we'll try and plan a belated 100th episode celebration. Oh no, family sucks. Well, Colton, you probably feel that way because your mom's racist. Will you play the WrestleMania clip 100 times? You know what? Yes. We shall. We will do it. Zia, Keanu, Forrest Mommy, Chrissy, Ashton too, maybe. Oh yeah, I'll be inviting like a bunch of people. I'm gonna try and invite them a little bit in advance too. So instead of, as soon as the stream starts, get like, my rocks. Will you do a Shelley impression again? Yeah, probably. Thank you for saying that first. I don't even know what I said first. But yes. Okay, so tomorrow night at 6 p.m. instead of midnight. Probably, I think. Oh, calling Colin's mom. Yeah. Listen. There are certain things that we don't say out loud. So, what a bomb dropped, But listen, if you've got somebody, look, okay, I'm just gonna tell you, yeah, there might be people out there that I'm like, oh, for the most part, I'm not really like a fan of their looks, and maybe it's a race thing. I don't say it out loud because I'm not passionate enough to say it out loud. You know what I'm saying? But when you're passionate enough to say it out loud, we might have a problem. Shelley Marsh? Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Oops. Wrong button. Hold on. All right, you kids, listen up. Your parents are away at a meeting right now, and they put me in charge of you. But you're still grounded. So that means you can't have any fun. Any questions? Shelley, where's the clitoris? Now you just sit there and you keep your mouth shut while I go listen to my Britney Spears records. And scene. Thank you. Yes, here. Yes, thank you. Congrats on 100. Not yet, Paul. Paul doesn't even know that 99 is not 100. What if I never reach the 100th episode? What if I just go, you know what? Screw this. And then I never do another stream ever again. Courtney said the keys is speak with a lost spit. Yeah, you gotta keep your spit in your mouth. My mouth was actually rather dry this time. But your S's are not said with the tip of your tongue. It's with the back sides of your tongue. You press them against the teeth. 99 and stop would be a huge troll. I know that'd be hilarious, right? I'm like, oh, look at Paul being a victim. I'm the a-hole. Sorry. I'm just pointing out facts. Excuse me for being autistic. I guess I'm the a-hole, huh? Man, I actually am an asshole. That's not really. Can I just be nice sometimes? Nope. Apparently not. Oh, don't forget the chirp. Well, remember when people thought that was real and they were like, oh my God, Courtney, change your smoke alarm battery. I'm like, what are we doing here? Has Chrissy heard you do it? I don't think so. She did see my Fetty Wap impression, though. There is that. That was on accident, really. You know, that was just sort of a spur of the moment. Don't know why I had to say it that way. Sorry. Do we want to talk about Jonathan Joss, or are we just... You guys want to look at raccoons? Oh, we're gonna look at these raccoons. Hold on. I love them. A lot of raccoons saved lately, to be honest. Just mute this in case. Look, he's missing a hand. Baby. Oh man, they do have really cute paws. Oh my God. Yeah, look at his little baby. He's missing his little paw. I wish it was possible to just domesticate all the little animals, you know? But you can't. Yeah, the little gremlins. They're so cute. So, Douchey, what does this mean? I get $15 for, I don't know what you mean. Oh, they won't give him VA benefits, or will they? Because let's think about it. I saw something a bit enraging when it came to people getting VA benefits. It was so annoying. Like, the husband who served in the military and the wife were both working full time, but still receiving disability for some reason. Like, why are you on disability? You're working full time. They both and like had good paying jobs. Like, wait, so you're limited on benefits for people who are actually disabled or actually like struggling. You can't provide anything for them, but you can give these people who are making plenty of money to get by. You're giving them benefits. Like, why aren't we auditing this shit more often? Oh, Chat and Ask is back. Hold on. Man, this thing is like buried. There's so much. Oh, buddy. There's a lot going on in here.
Frustration, but that may be a moot point.
All right.
It is one, yes, Your Honor.
We're off the record.
Just one witness. We're asking for a sequestration, but that may be a moot point.
All right.
It is one, yes, Your Honor.
We're off the record.
No, we watched it. I believe it was 4 times. Yeah, we watched it 4 times. Because Chat and Ask hated it. We wanted him to leave. So that would be 5 and 6. Should we do a 7th?
We're asking for a sequestration, but that may be a moot point.
All right.
It is one witness, Your Honor.
We're off the record.
I just changed the battery in this thing and it's already acting out. This is very upsetting. I hate that clip. I seriously hate it. Well, good. My friend that died twice and was in a coma for a week still can't get disability benefits. She literally was dead twice and has a super rare heart condition. My God. Yeah, that public defender has a look of, I could have done so much more with my life. He's very much just like, what are you going to do? I missed the first hour. Yeah, where are you at? VA disability is completely different than SSI disability. You only get paid for the disabilities acquired while serving. The thought process is the government broke you forever, get paid forever. But if you're not disabled, then why do you get it? Yay, Morgan! I just got a PayPal for $10 from Morgan. Thank you. For the Shelly impression. That's very sweet. Thank you. Give me all your money. Do I even have my things saved anymore? I guess I don't. Chat and ask, do you mean all these negative things towards Courtney? Or are you just getting a rise out of her? Well, it doesn't work around here. If it is, it doesn't work around here. You prefer Venmo though, right? Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. All of those work just fine. I don't really have a preference. I think one time I was trash talking how iPhones, like when I get payments through PayPal from an iPhone, it docks money. So like a person will give me, like if send $10, it doesn't charge that person more money. It takes the money away from me. And so like if somebody, let's say you owe me money, right? Like let's say you're gonna send me money through PayPal for like rent. So you have to pay extra money to pay full amount of rent in order to like not, because PayPal or iPhone or whoever, Apple, I guess, is taking a cut of it. Or if I'm the one who's receiving the rent, I have to essentially cover that cost for you, which I would not put up with that. No. So it's like, well, that's like, what? Whatever. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to just give me more money to cover the cost if you're just sending me something as a nice gesture. Don't do that. I think rent should be $3. Colton for president, everybody. But I thought PayPal takes a small cut. Maybe it is PayPal that takes a small cut. What does the donation thing do with PayPal? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Like are you just saying like if you just like when you sent me $10, it gave me $9.55. Don't make payments on mobile. App Store, Google Play, etc. will take the cut. donate on desktop and she'll get more of it. Interesting. I never had that issue when I used Venmo, like when back when I had roommates. And I was the one collecting rent and then I would make the payment all together. I never had that issue. And pretty sure they just used their phones. And in fact, because we used Venmo, and one of my roommates I know for sure had an iPhone. So maybe it's a PayPal thing. But then also when it comes to super chats, like an actual super chat, I think it's a little bit different too. Because sometimes I get those, $9.99s and stuff like that. It's because someone's taking a cut of it. So which one does not do that? I just give you the amount I know you're going to actually get and pay the difference. Oh. I don't know which one doesn't do it. I assume that that Venmo doesn't do it or Cash App doesn't do it. I've just noticed that PayPal does it because it's like it'll say one amount and then when I pull it up on the app, it says a different amount. Instant transfer on Venmo takes fee. Well, and there's that, which like I don't care. Like I just do the 3-day business transfer but it's like I was just saying with when Morgan just sent me that $10, like when I saw the notification, it was like, oh, Morgan sent you $10, and then I opened it up and it said $9.55. So there's like a difference between what is sent through PayPal versus what is received. Best ways to get supers is Cash App or something. I do have Cash App. I don't have them, those things linked right now. Wait, do I have them linked somewhere? I might. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me see. What's this? Oops. That's why. Okay. Where? Hold on. I found it. There. Like the stream. Like that silence. See, there's all of them. Yes. Like the silence, everybody. Nothing is happening. And it's good. It's good for your soul. I don't fucking know. Anyway. Oh, Danny Vo's leaving. Bye. Courtney, I want to see your CD collection. I don't have one anymore. You need background music. It doesn't work though for like trying to clip stuff and then trying to we're not worried about YouTube super chats though, Paul. I'm talking specifically about like PayPal and Venmo and stuff. Oh, check your Venmo. K Max. Do you get the full $15? Yes, I got the full 15. Thank you, K Max. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Courtney, I want to look at tree rats, aka squirrels. Okay. Yeah. Cash App is the one I've never used or use. Yeah. I just have it. So Venmo does a lot. So you sent it on an iPhone. So it's some issue with PayPal being PayPal then. I pulled up my list of weird names I've been collecting. I'll tell you some of them really quick before I go. Shar Buffington, Bubba Edgen. These are fun. Jeff Midget. Last one I'll share is Seaman Linen. Okay, this. I don't know if that's a name. That last one I don't know if it is a name. Oh, Shaman. Shaman, is it Shaman Linen or Shaman Linen? It looks like it might be Linen. Shaman Linen. Okay, that one is a name then. Oh, Courtney, I put a couple cop cam videos and live topics. Okay, we'll have to probably look at that. Maybe, I don't know. So I should wrap up pretty soon here. It's been almost 3 hours. And we never got to Jonathan Joss. We still haven't gotten to Jonathan Joss. Oh my God, my dogs are so cute right now. Hi, Choo Choo. You come here? No? You look really cute. Where's Cricket? Oh, Cricket down here. I don't know. They work at different county governments. I find them all working. So there's just people. Yeah. But yeah. Football players' last name. First of all, I just started off just thinking, like, why does the last name Butts exist? And why do people keep it? Like, why would, if you're going to have a kids, why would you pass that name on to them? And then it turns out they become things like tight ends in the NFL. Because Harry Butts is a hilarious name. I want to, the thing is when you give a kid a name that specific, you're telling them what their job has to be, like who they have to be as a person. If their name is a little bit more like basic, because Harry Butts has to be a comedian now. Harry Butts can't be an accountant. He'll never get a client. Harry Butts, he has to change his name. What else can he not be? Can't be the CEO of any well-known company. Oh yeah, here's Harry Butts, the CEO of Disney. Not going to happen, especially if it's like something that's geared more towards children. Nickelodeon, out of the question. Right? You're limiting Harry Butts on what he can do, right? Even if he would have to be careful just being in sales, because if he worked in a certain line of sales or for a certain company or whatever, where like the customer's going to know his first and last name, it's just not going to work, right? They're going to be like, Harry Butts. Oh my God, no. A lawyer? Yeah, Mr. Butts. Hello, Mr. Butts. You can't do that. Imagine Harry Butts being the prosecutor in the Karen Reed trial. Nope. Harry Butts is Puff Daddy's defense lawyer. Harry Butts could be a famous porn star, though. Well, so now don't you use a stage name in the pornography industry? So he could just change his name. That could be his stage name. That would definitely also be for a very niche category. My name is Hugh Jazz. Barry McCockner. That's a good one. I like Barry McCockner. Barry McCockner, Phil McCracken. Those are two really good ones. Johnny Wad. Wad? You can't be Wad. That's another. It's too much. You're limiting your child. When was the last time you heard of a lawyer who wasn't a giant ass? Johnny Depp's team. And then well, like Karen Reed's team. Trying to think of like specific lawyers from Kyle Rittenhouse's team. Mark Richards. Woo! Corey Shirafisi. You know who were a bunch of assholes though was Nicholas Cruz's team, the one that like flipped off the camera and stuff. Yeah, hit like you dumb something whatever. Britney Spears' lawyer. Yeah, I like him. I don't know what you mean by that, Colton. Juan Finger. You're limiting your child. Juan Finger. No one's going to hire Juan Finger as their defense attorney. No one's going to hire Juan Finger as their doctor. Like they don't want to go to, maybe they do. Maybe if it's a finger doctor, but that's the thing. You can only be a finger doctor or like a hand doctor or whatever, a hand surgeon. I just picture Shane Lynon as a forensic investigator and he collects DNA off of the bed sheets. Okay, so it is linen. Shaman linen. That's really funny. Hugh Janus. Yeah, that is definitely Hugh Janus can only go into pornography. You're limiting your kids. If you keep your name Janus and Butts and whatever those other names that we were talking about. I don't remember now. He was something in finance, I think. I can't remember now. I mean, and like, see, like Shaman Lynon, the names that you were listing off, they're still like, they're not specific. They're not something people are going to like laugh at. They're a bit cartoonish, right? They're kind of goofy, but they're not something like, what the fuck? Why? Why did you do this? Barry McCockner, I can't hire you to be my lawyer. But they are goofy, right? They're kind of fun. Oh, I think I lost them. I was going to go pull another one back up. But Barry McCockner, I heard from a comedian. Yeah, Barry McCockner, I feel like has been like a one of those like Bart Simpson prank call names for a while. I don't know if he actually ever used that name before, but like I just feel like it's one of those types of like goofy pun names. It's been used for a while. Yeah, Barry McCockner, Phil McCracken. Those are two really good names. I think there was another one. Yeah, Amanda Hug and Kiss. Oh, so Hacky. I don't know. Is it Hacky? Barry McCockner is a funny name. I don't think it's Hacky. All right. Do we want to talk about Jonathan Joss or do we want to wait for another time? I still think we need well, never mind. All I have to say really is give Charles Manson a chance. You can listen to Charles Manson on Spotify. He has 32,000 listeners a month. Let's give him a few more, you know? The Simpsons stole that from tube bar tapes. Well, it was good. I didn't even know what a tube bar tape is. Dick Trickle. That's a porn name and nothing else. Yeah, hack comedy can be funny. I don't care what anyone says. Who's Jonathan Joss? He is the voice actor. One of his biggest roles that he was known for was what was it? John Redcorn, I think it was his name, on King of the Hill. And he got shot and died. And there's a lot of weird stuff going on with that. I found a mugshot with a lady whose name was Janita Lee Pringle. Why would you name your kid that? She was arrested for giving false info to a police officer. Oh my God. Well, probably a fake name because it's like, you don't really want to lead with that. Yeah, I would lie too if that was my name. That's exactly what I was thinking. It was the gay guy. Yeah. So he, there's a lot going on with it. It's somewhat controversial, I guess. People are very upset and really insist that it should be considered a hate crime, but it doesn't really look like it was necessarily a hate crime. Looks like the hate was mutual between both parties. It just seems like definitely Jonathan Joss was mentally unstable. I don't know about the husband. My guess is probably so. But there was like a house fire, and he kept saying that the neighbors set his house on fire because he's gay, but like he was definitely the one that set the house on fire. So it's like, why are you lying about that, saying that somebody did it because it was a hate crime? Like, you are the one who did it. Like, I get it. You feel guilty because your dogs died in that fire, but like, you did it. And then they had like constant issues with their neighbors all the time, but it was because he was like erratic and manic all the time and causing a bunch of issues. And like, there's video footage of him wandering around the neighborhood with a pitchfork at one point in time. I believe that was actually like when they were there last. And he said that he went there to like go check the mail at the burnt down house. And they got really upset because they saw like the skeleton of one of the dogs or whatever. And the Jonathan Joss thing sounds like classic meth behavior. I was like really thrown off because at one point they weren't paying their bills and their electricity was shut off and it got too cold. And so they just left and went to a hotel to get warm and left their dogs there. And he was like, we were there for like 3 days and we wanted to go back to the house. I'm like, you left your dogs at the house by themselves to freeze to death for 3 days. You didn't feed them or anything. You just left them. I don't understand that. That doesn't compute to me. I'm sorry, but if I'm leaving my house and I'm going to go stay elsewhere, if I'm like it's like a vacation or whatever, I'm gonna ensure that somebody's gonna stay with them while I'm gone. Or if it's like an emergency situation of any sort, or if I'm for some reason my heat's not working and I need to go somewhere to be warm, my dogs are coming with me. There are hotel friendly, or there are dog friendly hotels anywhere. You can easily find a hotel that is dog friendly. You just have to search for it. I mean, like, you can use like the internet, right? Why would you just leave them at the house? Like right there, I was like, okay, you're a sociopath. Something's wrong with you. Everyone's trying to take my dogs now. Drop them off over here. I'll keep them for you. My dogs will sleep in my car with me if I have to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to like leave them behind somewhere, especially in a situation where I'm like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. It's way too cold. I can't stay here. It's too cold. I'm not going to be like, okay, yeah, but my dogs can stay here. What? I mean, maybe unless maybe if it's like a husky and they're like, where's the snow? Then like, but I don't want to leave them alone. My dogs for sure. They like to have the heat on like during the summer and stuff. So yeah, it seems very strange. I will babysit Chongus and also watch cricket and Penelope, but especially Chongus, not to take them away, but if you needed. Chongus, choo-choo. Hi, Penelope. It's so cute. They're just hanging out. They look very cute right now. You guys are popular. Popular. You're already popular. We used to leave our pets home. There was a pet door, and we had a neighbor came to walk the dog and check on food. And like, I can see how that could be, just fine, especially like if they're like, if it's like safe enough for them to just use the doggy door on their own or whatever. Because like some people just do that. I have a friend who she used to, but she used to like just leave her dogs just hanging out in the front yard, and she would be able to go and like run errands, and it was fine. But unfortunately, some nut job walked by and took the dog that was paralyzed. One of her dogs had like couldn't use her back legs, and this lady just walked up and picked it up out of the yard. So thankfully they found the dog, and after that she was like, nope, I'm never doing that ever again. Sam, you can't even call her by her name. I'll take eye spot, girl. That is not her name. Yeah, I could see that. And like, you have somebody who's coming over and like making sure they're fed and walked and stuff like that. And at least like, I'm guessing the neighbor is like close enough by that they'd be able to tell if something weird is going on at the house and they need to go get the dogs. Have y'all seen the video of the dog chewing on a power bank and starting the house on fire? Oh my God, no. Ugh. That's another thing too, is like, I'm not 100% positive. Well, no, they're fine. They don't really chew on a lot of stuff, so they're okay. Like sometimes I worry about leaving them home alone just because what are they going to do? But I've left them home alone millions of times, like going to work and stuff. So it's fine. But I just get nervous when it comes to nighttime. But everything's fine here. I was just thinking, what's the weird thing that happened the other day? I can't remember now. There was something. I walked the dogs, and when I came back after walking Chunk, I didn't close the door all the way, I guess. Oops. And I went and I was like hanging out with them for a little while, and then I fell asleep for like an hour. I got up and the door was wide open. The dogs didn't leave. No one came in. I was like, oh my God. Ooh. Whoops. So like I have a neighborhood that's pretty much like that. Like I mess up a lot, and nobody has ever taken advantage of how stupid I am. So I probably could leave the dogs alone overnight, but I just think like, especially in a situation where you're like this, it's too cold in my house and it's unbearable. I'm going to leave. I don't know why you would leave the dogs behind. It's just so weird. But here, I'll pull this up. Okay, so it says statement from Tristan Kern de Gonzalez, husband of Jonathan Joss. My husband, Jonathan Joss, and I were involved in a shooting while checking the mail at the site of our former home. That home was burned down over 2 years after over 2 years of threats from people in the area who repeatedly told us they would set it on fire. We reported these threats to law enforcement multiple times and nothing was done. Throughout the time, we were harassed regularly by individuals who made it clear they did not accept our relationship. Much of the harassment was openly homophobic. When we returned to the site to check our mail, we discovered the skull of one of our dogs and its harness placed in clear view. This caused both of us severe emotional distress. We began yelling and crying in response to the pain of what we saw. While we were doing this, a man approached us. He started yelling violent homophobic slurs at us. He then raised a gun from his lap and fired. Jonathan and I had no weapons. We were not threatening anyone. We were grieving. We were standing side by side. When the man fired, Jonathan pushed me out of the way. He saved my life. Jonathan is my husband. He gave me more love in our time together than most people ever get. We were newlyweds. We picked Valentine's Day. This is hard to keep up with. Come on. We were in the process of looking for a trailer and planning our future. He was murdered by somebody who could not stand the sight of two men loving each other. I was with him when he passed. I told him how much he was loved. To everyone who supported him, his fans, his friends, know that he valued you deeply. He saw you as family. My focus now is protecting Jonathan's legacy and honoring the life we built together. If your concern is somehow coped with trauma or how loudly they speak when recounting injustice and being ignored by authorities, then you never truly cared about my husband. Jonathan saved my life. I will carry this forward. I will protect what he built. So it seemed a little off because here's the thing. There are lunatics out there, and there are some people out there that are also homophobic. I don't know how often that overlaps. I will say sometimes though, if somebody's like constantly battling with you, like there's just a constant like struggle between you and between like a gay person and just a I don't know, often angry person. Sometimes they will just hurl homophobic slurs at you and just to try and hurt your feelings. And it's not as I don't want to say as deep, but it's not necessarily a hate crime. They're just trying to hurt your feelings type thing. Again, yes, it's still homophobic slurs. I know. But like, as a person who doesn't give a shit if gay people get married and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, cool, whatever. As long as you're cool, like I don't care what else goes on. I might throw a slur at somebody just to upset them if I'm mad enough at them. I'm like, well, I don't know. I just want to hurt their feelings. Not saying it's right. Anyway, so here is we love them. New York Post. Here's an article from New York Post. It says King of the Hill voice actor Jonathan Joss killed in Texas shooting after an argument with a neighbor. After Jonathan Joss, best known for his voice work on the iconic animated TV comedy King of the Hill, was shot dead by a neighbor in Texas, according to police. I don't feel like I read that right, but oh well. Joss, who voiced John Redcorn on the long-running cartoon, got into an argument with the neighbor at his home in San Antonio Sunday night when the neighbor pulled out a gun and shot him several times, police said. The unnamed gunman, which I believe they've arrested since then, the unnamed gunman then fled in a vehicle but was arrested just a block away. Excuse me. Wait, did they edit this? Interesting. Oops. There is a whole different. I read something very different. New York Post, and it was published by you. So anyway, there was an article posted. There's like people sharing their like certain, oh, what's the word? Not like their side of the story, but there are other people out there that are sharing different things about it that are like, oh, wait a minute. And New York Post did share an article where they were talking about how like, I don't know if they got it correct because they were saying that the house burnt down because he couldn't he burnt it down with the barbecue grill. Like he couldn't use the barbecue grill correctly, but I think it sounds like it was actually a propane heater that caught the house on fire. But it also in that article that I was reading before, which apparently is not. It was also saying that like there was oftentimes like tiffs between them, and it was not like homophobic. It was just there were problems between the neighbors. And then this was posted earlier today. It says, on the death of Jonathan Joss, I've seen posts echoing the narrative of the deceased actor's partner who is alleging it was hate-motivated killing. While the social media jurists appear to have largely come to a verdict, I looked into what facts are known and came across info that contradicts the narratives being amplified by many. First off, killing is undoubtedly wrong. Yes. I said undoubtedly, as is hate. However, amplifying one side of a narrative without acknowledging conflicting information runs the risk of perverting justice. We should be long past the days of inquisitions and witch trials, but social media seems to have resurrected these dark periods of human history if they ever truly went away. Here's a summary of provable facts that conflict with the prevailing narrative. Police reports and neighbor accounts detail several questionable behaviors by Jonathan Joss that contributed to disputes in its San Antonio neighborhood. 1, frequent disturbances. The San Antonio Police Department responded to 66 calls at Joss's Dorsey Drive property since September of 2023, with 13 involving neighbor disputes. These included general disturbances, mental health concerns, and welfare checks indicating recurring disruptive behavior. 66 times. I had the police come to my house like twice when I was a teenager or like early 20s because we were partying too loud. 66 times. That's not good. Erratic and aggressive actions. Neighbors described Joss as erratic, reporting he would yell in the streets, sometimes claiming he was God. Specific incidents include a June 2024 altercation with Sigfredo Alvarez, I think his last name is Ceja, where Joss allegedly harassed Ceja and his brother, including driving slowly by Ceja's home to provoke him and making threatening statements like, I'm coming for you. Reports of Joss pointing a crossbow at neighbors, including Ceja, on multiple occasions. That's not good. An October 2023 incident where Joss was seen naked in the street holding a rifle, later covering himself with only a curtain when police arrived. Also not good. Mental health and public nuisance concerns. Neighbors and police noted Joss's behavior as manic, with 6 mental health related calls and 5 welfare checks among the 74 total calls. Jeez. Reported by some sources. He was also booked in June of 2024 on an unrelated criminal mischief charge, suggesting broader issues. One neighbor who spoke to media requesting their name be withheld, being withheld without fear of retaliation. I said that wrong. Requesting their name be withheld out of fear of retaliation, said Joss was a nightmare neighbor. Property neglect and fire incident. Joss's home, which burned down in January of 2025, was slated for demolition due to theft and maintenance issues. City records indicate utilities were cut off in October of 2024, and Joss admitted to using a propane heater, which may have caused the fire that killed his dogs. Neighbors suggested his negligence contributed to the property's condition. These behaviors, documented in San Antonio Police Department reports and neighbor statements, paint a picture of ongoing conflicts and erratic conduct, though they don't definitively negate the hate crime allegations made by Joss's husband. Beyond these facts, it remains to be seen what actually transpired between Joss and Ceja, beyond Joss marching up and down the street with a pitchfork yelling and Ceja subsequently shooting him, though I imagine the case for Ceja will likely be influenced by advocates who have concluded based on the word of one person that he is homophobic. Yeah. So I wish I lived on his street, also known as plausible deniability. Yeah. The thing is, like, what it kind of looks like to me is that Joss was at least having mental issues, right? There was some instability going on there, and the neighbors had to suffer from it most, right? Clearly, they were, having to call the police often. There are a lot of issues going on. It sounds like it was probably more than one neighbor. So it doesn't really sound like it was necessarily that they were homophobic. They were just, more so like not a big fan of disruptive neighbors. I don't know if the husband was super unstable, right? But it does seem that the husband was very much in love and supportive of the erratic husband, and essentially going along with it, if anything. But I think that it's just, first of all, already like coming to find out that there was a propane tank involved and misuse of it, and they burned the house down. Nobody else did. They did. And then he's already running around going like, oh, this was a hate crime. Somebody burnt my house down because they hate that we're gay. That's just disgusting. Okay. The thing is, like, if somebody is doing something besmirching the good name of propane, and wasn't his friend Hank a propane salesman? How dare. Or Josh was abusive and his man friend had battered wife syndrome. Maybe maybe the husband is still just like not able to process what was going on. Maybe one day he'll figure it out. But yeah, John Redcorn and Hank were homies. Yeah, it's just over here, just the misuse of the propane. How dare. But considering that, like, it appears as though they were the ones who ended up burning their own house down. It's just already, it's really gross. Like, dude, there are people out there that actually are very much like a, get out of here, you faggot, and really want to like make somebody's life a living hell just because they're gay. There are people out there that exist. It just doesn't sound like that's what's happening here. It sounds like it just sounds like they're making stuff up. Like, especially, I think there's a lot of protection of Jonathan Joss going on here, right? I think that the husband's trying to be like, you're trying to essentially hide the fact that he was clearly like mentally unstable. I should go interview the survivor. Tristan, what was it? Tristan Kern de Gonzalez is the name. And then there's Sigfredo Ceja, I believe the name was. I think he's in jail right now. Dude wasn't even doing insurance fraud and calling it gay hating. Well, yeah. Well, it's like, okay, clearly things were going wrong, considering he was not paying bills and their power got shut off, and they were trying to get creative when it came to keeping the house warm. I just already it just kind of seems like, well, things aren't really working out too well. You got two grown adults and they don't have enough money to pay their bills. That already is like a kind of a red flag to me. I mean, people fall on hard times all the time. But like the reboot, what's it called? King of the Hill reboot is coming out pretty soon, right? Like, was he not a part of that? Did he not get any payments for any of the voice, for his voice role in that? Like, that should have been enough money to pay some bills. Right? But then like there was a King of the Hill, I think it just came out. Yeah, so like wouldn't he have been paid for that? I think. but then there was also like a panel at like some con where they had King of the Hill voice actors at the panel, and he wasn't invited to it, and then he like crashed it and was being very weird about it. And I think that was on purpose because like they already knew like he's gonna get weird. He's gonna like this. He's gonna make things awkward, maybe ruin it, and then he did. I heard it was terrible. That's my theory about what his neighbor was actually mad about. I don't know what really happened, but I always liked him as an actor. I would hope that his dog was not killed maliciously. He was part of the reboot. He already recorded stuff. Well, unfortunately, the dog's burnt up in the house. So I don't think there was any malicious intent behind it. Whether or not somebody else burnt the house down, I don't think that the intent was like, let's kill the dogs. But it just sounds like he might have been kind of having a rough time mentally and not doing much to take care of himself or his family, and was causing a lot of problems and really needed like some mental health care somehow, some way. And it just doesn't sound like the husband was really doing anything to support him in that endeavor, but instead was supporting this erratic behavior and was, doing the victim thing of like, they don't like us because we're gay. And it's like, your husband can't be running around naked and yelling and screaming at people while carrying a rifle. That's not good. That's terrifying for somebody. That was happening in my neighborhood. Whew. I read that they were mourning a dog skeleton found in a mailbox, according to the husband. No, so what they claimed so the husband was claiming that they were going back to the house to check the mail. And when they got there, they saw the skeleton of one of the dogs and the harness. And so it wasn't in the mailbox. It was at the house. It was still in the house, but he's making it out. I guess people were, interpreting it as though like, oh, the neighbors picked up the skull and the harness and stuff and put it in clear sight for us to see. So we'll be emotional. But I just assumed that like, no, the dogs died in the fire. And so if the house is like burnt mostly down, there's a chance that you're going to see the dog's remains somewhere. And that will make you emotional. That would make me extra emotional, especially if I was like the reason why the house burnt down in the first place and the dogs died. I would just like, bye. I'm out. I would feel so guilty. But like what was I just thinking? So I'd imagine that they would be really emotional over that. I would be really emotional over that. Why didn't they do a change of address for their mail? They don't have anywhere to go. They don't have an address to send their mail to. So they just kept it there. So they would go back and check the mail. Which that part, it's not that weird, but it just sounds like things were bizarre. Or things got a little out of hand. I don't think people approached them just to shoot them when they were sitting there crying over their dog. That was apparently, according to some witnesses, that was when Joss started wandering around with a pitchfork and was like yelling at people and stuff. And then that was why the dude had a rifle and shot him. Okay. I was going to start wrapping up like almost an hour ago. I do find it funny. He quickly made a statement of homophobia, hate crime right at the start of Pride Month. The timing is perfect, isn't it? Well, the thing, like, the with the whole statement being just like everything was homophobia, every single thing was homophobia. Starts to like it's no longer passing the sniff test. Like if they would just have admitted that like the reason the house burnt down was because of misuse of a propane heater or something like that, and then just discussing the struggles of trying to like get back on your feet afterwards and all this stuff, and maybe even like admitting, hey, we've had a lot of conflict with some neighbors. It varied back and forth. And one neighbor in particular was rather homophobic. Like that would be a lot more believable with all of this. But it was just like everyone in the neighborhood was homophobic. They hated us. They hated our existence. Da, da, da. It's just like, if I moved into a place that was like, we hate white people, right? And I was constantly being harassed. I'm leaving. I'm out. Bye. Peace. I'm not dealing with this crap. Like you didn't ever consider just moving? You didn't consider like selling your house and moving? Like it was that bad? Like there was stuff that was going back to like October of 2023. So from October of 2023 until June of 2025, it never crossed your mind, or I guess January, because that's when the house burnt down. So before the house burnt down, okay, it never crossed your mind, let's just sell the house and go somewhere where it's going to be a lot more comfortable for us. And then on top of that, knowing your financial issues and everything, let's downsize a little bit so we can have something that's a little bit more affordable so we can afford to pay the electric bill. Waiting for all the previous instances of homophobia to be divulged. And none of it has been. Like we've heard a lot of instances of some conflict going on between the neighbors that was started by Joss himself, but nothing that was like, oh yeah, you are, we don't like you because you're gay. So it's just like, well, okay, you're giving a blanket statement of like they're so homophobic, but you never said what happened, like what they did or whatever. So like, what am I supposed to believe? Yeah, they totally made it sound like the neighbors burned the house down. Well, yeah, like there was the panel that Joss, what's the word I said that he crashed. He got up and started speaking. He was like, my house burned down in January this year because I'm gay. Houses don't burn down because of your sexuality. Fire doesn't respond to sexuality. So please expand. But just the simple fact of like information coming out that there was a propane tank involved and it was misused, like dirt, like nobody lit the house on fire. So like coming out with that statement, just saying like somebody burnt our house down because we were gay, like that's just not what happened. And then like, yeah, I'm crazy person brandishing phobic. Yeah, me too. I don't want naked people running around carrying rifles. Not a fan. No, I don't like that. I'm going to end that one real quick. Not how we roll around here. I'm going to carry a gun outside of your house. Keep your clothes on. If you want to be naked carrying your gun around your own house, whatever, fine. I don't give a shit. Don't be doing that in public. What about all the straight phobia? Oh, there's a lot of that. Maybe it was part of their foreplay. I think the feud went back decades. Really? Like they've been living there that long? Then why? Then they should have moved. Why didn't they move? If the homophobia was that bad, why did you not move? I just sell your house. And again, like you're having financial struggles, sell your house, downsize a bit, get something in like a less expensive area, something that is, in a lower price range so that you can have enough money to pay your mortgage and to pay for your electric bill. Like I can't figure out. I don't, it doesn't make any sense to me. If it was really that bad, like how were you not able to leave? I don't know. A hot naked chick carrying a rifle sounds kind of in your own house. Russell has a point. In your own house. And Courtney's solving the world's problems. I was saying, like, I don't know how they didn't have anybody in their corner at all explaining to them, like, you have to move. This isn't safe. And that's just crazy to me. And also, like, why didn't he ever talk about how bad this homophobia was before? Why is all the homophobia coming out now? Anyway, really, no. I don't care how hot the naked chick is. Don't be wandering around the neighborhood with your gun. Okay, you can do that in your house. Put your clothes on, carry your gun around so that Russell can be all excited. Just hire a hot naked chick to come over to your house with a gun. San Antonio might be more conservative than Austin in some ways, but I'm pretty sure there's a huge gay community. Well, and like, there are parts of Texas where they could easily have moved to that would have been a lot more comfortable for them. But in a lot of places that are like a little bit more red or whatever, like in most cases, the worst that's going to happen is people gossip about you behind your back. Go move to one of those small towns where all anybody does is like, oh my God, they're gay. Hi, lovely day. Yeah, see you later. A lot of those places exist. I'm not like, the thing is I'm not saying that homophobics don't exist. They do. Lunatics also exist. Crazy people that think that they just, oh yeah, I have a vendetta. I want to go and burn their house down. Like, those people exist, but it just sounds like with a lot of these details, there's a lot of stuff that they could have done to prevent certain things. Like, again, moving. To be honest, they probably were both mentally unstable. Yeah. I mean, I would believe it for sure. Could a hot naked chick come over to my house without a gun? Sure. I mean, you were the one who said that it sounded hot, though, that she would wander around naked with a gun. I'm just saying, have a hot naked chick come over to your house with a gun. Then that's what you want. But I'm going to tell you right now, if a naked chick, no matter how hot she is wander around my neighborhood with a gun, she's getting out of there real quick, one way or another. Okay. All right. Well, we went way longer than I expected, as usual. But that's okay. But we talked about everything, and that's good. So, homophobia is an incorrect word. Phobias are fears. People who say it aren't afraid. They just don't like gay people. Yeah, like people who hate gay people exist. They definitely do. In this case, though, it just doesn't seem like that was the driving factor. Seems like they were just not the most stable. Russell Hall, oh my God. Anyway, I don't know. Hire a hot lady to come over. They're usually called escorts. And you can discuss whatever it is that you're trying to get her to do. It will cost you money, but you could do it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go. So I'm going to see what's going on with the whole like family visiting and all that stuff. And I will schedule a stream around that. Okay. So keep an eye out. I'll try and keep you guys posted as best as I can. I'm not always like the best at that. I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying. But we'll figure it out. So just keep an eye out. We'll see you another time or whatever. I don't really know, but whatever, something, things and stuff. So in the meantime, nobody likes to do trust falls alone. Okay, bye. I guess that just means we're having to do this again. Oh no.
Night is coming to an end. Stars are fading, lights descend. Thank you for this time we spent. Memories shared, hearts will mend. We had such a great time here. Laughter, love, and moments dear. Every smile, every cheer. Now it's time to disappear. Oh, I will miss you till we meet again. Take care, my friend, my heart will tend. Until the day we start anew. Forever hold on nights to you. Walking out into daylight. City's glow turns into night. Hold these moments nice and tight. In my dreams you'll shine so bright. Every goodbye leaves a trace of a night we can't replace. Take care in every space. Till next time we will embrace. Oh, embrace. I will miss you till we meet again. Take care, my friend, my heart will tend. Until the day we start anew. Forever hold on nights to you. Only goodbye leaves a trace of a night we can't replace. Take care in every space. Till next time we will embrace. Oh, I will miss you till we meet